She told me, she's like, yeah, Alex, the reason why I don't want to be with you is because your height and you're skinny.
This week we have Alex Siquig.
And that's what got me into fitness. I was like, man, I'm tired of being skinny as fuck. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to show you.
Alex is a Filipino content creator, trainer, athlete, and videographer based in Los Angeles, California.
No one ever starts off with the best stuff. You're always going to start off with something whack.
If someone wants to do that, like what were the things that you learned there that they could help them?
So the 3 things I learned in this mentorship program was I just love having to film because it's like, first off, I look good. I ain't gonna lie.
What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the Nate Biltz Podcast, where it's my goal to interview world-class creatives in entertainment, business, fitness, and art to inspire and educate you to get better and chase your curiosities. Before we get started, if you could do me one favor, if you received any value out of this podcast, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bring you the most creative and talented humans in the world. Taking the time to like, subscribe, and comment allows me just to do that. And in this episode with Alex, expect to learn tips for starting your fitness journey. Expect to learn the importance of carbs, why heartbreak can be a positive experience, the importance of mentorship, how COVID changed the fitness and training industries, what makes great content great, the 4 pillars towards your fitness goals, how the Apple Vision Pro is revolutionizing technology, how confidence is built, and much more.
Yo.
Yo.
No.
Oh, all right. Cheers, brother.
All right, let's
We'll
do
do
it.
it. So, have you ever had a Paloma before?
No, what is that?
That's what you're about to have.
Is there alcohol in here?
Yeah.
Damn, that's really good. I don't taste no alcohol.
Yo, this dude Alex was like, yo, anything with Casamigos, bro. For all my bartending friends out there, we did them right. We got some tequila ocho, and we made a Paloma out of it as well.
Man, this is really good.
What's up, brother? How you doing? Thanks for coming on.
I'm good, man. Yeah, thanks for having me. You know,
Filipino brother?
Yeah,
Dude,
you know.
we were just talking about it. I don't know any other Filipinos in fitness right now.
Really? That's crazy. There's actually a lot. Like,
In LA?
I mean, there's a couple that I know of, but they're, you know, some of them are just like, I feel like they only stick in one fitness style, if that makes sense.
Okay, what do you mean one fitness style?
So, for example, there's like bodybuilding, calisthenics, CrossFit, powerlifting, right?
Yeah.
There's only going to be like one probably popular fitness influencer that does one thing.
Okay.
Right? It could be NPC, it could be powerlifting, you know. So, like, I think that's why we don't really know too much of any other fitness content creators per se.
What do you call it? I guess like all the way back to like when you grew up, was fitness a big thing in? Is your family from the Philippines?
Yeah, they're from the Philippines.
Like,
yeah,
like your parents like were raised there.
yeah, they were raised out.
Okay,
in
so
the
my dad
Philippines.
was born there too, and like I don't know, fitness wasn't like a big part of like Filipino culture growing up. Like
No,
it
it's
wasn't for
not.
you either,
Yeah,
right?
Hell no.
No, it's like you're eating lumpia,
Yeah, egg rolls, pancit.
pancit, bro. It's
Adobo.
fire. When's the last time you had those?
Every time I go back home.
So you have it when you go home
because I go back every once in 2 months.
in the Bay, right?
Yeah, in the Bay. So,
Yeah.
like, obviously, like, when my parents cook, like, you know, I'll be nice enough to, like, have a bite here and there.
Yeah.
But, like...
because you
it's-
don't eat it out here, huh?
No, that's the thing. It's like you totally shift, like, everything that you used to do in your childhood. Everything shifts.
Yeah.
You know, because you're in a different environment. And now you see more people, like, getting into health and wellness. So, it's like you are more tiered to eating more of those type of foods, per se.
So the one problem that I sometimes see with that, it's like I feel like we're losing culture a little bit sometimes because I don't know how to cook that Filipino food anymore. I don't know how to cook pho with my mom and stuff like that. Like I just eat my rice, I eat my steak, I eat my vegetables, and like done. You know, and I'm just like, fuck, am I being a bad like I guess culturally you know, Filipino or Vietnamese
Right.
person or this and that, not taking the time to actually learn how to make these types of foods, but then like in the back of your head, they're not great for you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think about that?
Man, it's hard, bro. So, like, that's what the thing is. Like, every time I go back home, like,
Yeah.
my mom's like, eat now. And I'm like, all right, I'm down. So I'm upstairs, right? Like, I don't know, editing a video or whatnot. And she's like, Alex, come and eat now. I'm like, all right, Mom, coming down.
Yeah.
I come down, I'm looking at the food. I'm like, damn, what's the veggies? And like, it's only straight meat, like rice. So, I mean, I'll eat a little bit of it.
Filipinos love their rice, guys.
Yeah, rice is a go-to though. I ain't gonna lie, I still eat rice every day.
What?
You know, yeah. If it's not white rice, it's brown rice.
Okay.
You know, so.
Oh, okay, so what's your opinion on, like, there's a lot of articles that come out that are saying, like, oh, actually, white rice is better for you now. And then, like, 4 years ago, it was like, brown rice is better for you. Like, what's your take on that?
I think it's all like, there's a lot of people that talk about, oh, this food is bad. But at the end of the day, it's what works for your body, right? I mean,
because everyone's different, right? Everyone digests their food differently, processes food differently.
So it could be bad to someone that's overweight already. Like, you shouldn't eat that because you're already overweight. So stick with like quinoa or like brown rice, which is a lot lower in calories per se, right?
Yo, I just had quinoa for the first time 2 years ago. That shit hits.
Yeah, I've never tried cooking it, so I don't know. But I hear it's like very healthy.
Well, you never cooked it? Have you had it?
I've had it, but like I just don't cook it because you know I love my rice.
Yeah.
So.
True Filipino.
True Filipino, you know. And they make it easy to where like you don't even have to have a rice pot in your kitchen. Yeah. I literally go to like Target or
microwave that shit.
Yeah, you know the instant rice that you cook for like 60 seconds. It's the same exact thing.
This is the problem that I see. It's like our grandparents, our ancestors looking at us like these motherfuckers aren't cooking the rice. They're microwaving the shit and just put it with preheated chicken and rice.
No, seriously, yo, I ain't gonna lie. It's so easy now the way we have it. Like, dude, it takes like what, like five minutes or less to really. Yeah. You gotta soak the rice in the cook pot and you gotta dump out the water. Like, I mean, bro, that's an extra process.
It's like 3 minutes still to cook rice. 4 minutes.
Yeah, but that other 2 minutes you could already be done with your food.
And the cleanup.
Yeah, with a big ass pot, man. Especially if you're trying to put it in the dishwasher, that shit's too big. Like,
but back then, dude, no one really knew like proteins, fats, and carbs. Like they didn't really track anything. It's just eat.
Isn't that crazy how we're more conscious now? Like,
everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, just because it could be because of social media or it could be because of articles coming out or the news.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, social media really opened up more awareness on like health and fitness. You know, because like you think about it, like every year in the US, the percentage of obesity is drastically increasing. It's not even decreasing, it's increasing. So I feel like...
Why do you think that is?
I feel like people are not as knowledgeable. Like, you know, that you have the... I'm not going to talk bad about like everything that goes on the news, but like I feel like the news, sometimes they sugarcoat like a lot of like real information, you know, that they don't want people to like think or hear about, you know, because I mean, you think about it, like I don't want to get too, you know, into it, but like I feel like they don't really, a lot of people like a regular individual, right, that's overweight, I feel like they don't have the knowledge. Like all they do is sit down in front of the TV. Yeah. That's where they get most of their information. They're not going to be going on Google. They're going to be watching whatever's on the TV. So whatever they see on TV is like, okay, I'm going to believe that. Yeah. But not everything you see on TV should be believable.
Well, it's crazy. You go into a grocery store, right, and how much of that stuff is bad for you.
Oh my God, yeah. There's
like you
so
go
many,
in and
bro.
it's like today I went into Ralph's for the first time in a while, and the first thing that I see is like cakes and pies and brownies and shit. And I'm just like, this is the first thing that you see when you walk in. And I'm just like, this is like advertising. They just like buy this bad shit.
They're so smart at that.
Do you think about this too? Because I'm just like, yo, they're advertising just poison for your body.
No, they want you. So all the dumb people are gonna like stick with the stuff in the middle. If you're smart enough, so this is a tip for you guys. Consume or buy things around the premises of the grocery, never right in the middle or in front of you. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you straight up. Like, if you really think about it, it's like all the way on the outer, right, or all the way in the back. That's where you should be like really thinking about what you should be buying.
I didn't really think about the setup of the grocery store. That's totally correct.
That's how I think about it. That's why when I walk in, I'm like, why is there like stuff on sale and then like it's so delicious? But then I think about it, I'm like, why is the greens are never in the front right when you enter?
Yeah, and also all the stuff that I don't know. You got cravings?
Dude, I ain't gonna lie. People do not notice, but like I train hard just so I can have sweets here and there late at night.
So like, I had a conversation with when Taylor was on the podcast, right? And she was like, no. Well, I was like, what do you mean? Like, she didn't cheat one day on her whole entire prep. Like, didn't eat one thing bad.
Dang, I give her props for that.
And I was like, not one day, not one meal, not one thing. And she said, yes, no. Like, I decided it's just a switch. I turned it off. Yeah. I was like, fuck, I want that switch, bro. Like, because I was like, I crave ice cream sometimes.
But you know what, though? She was under the pressure of being under a competition. You know what I mean? So like, because when I did NPC in 2016, I didn't cheat at all. I would ask my coach at the time, hey, when can I have a cheat meal? He's like, not yet. And it's already like the second month. And I've been eating chicken, broccoli, rice, spinach with like liquid aminos. I'm like, dude, this is getting freaking ridiculous. Like, that's when it started messing with my head where like, I can't do this long term. I can't.
So you had that switch?
I had the switch. Well, what do you mean the switch?
Like in your head, like you turned off that.
I turned it off because my goal was to like get placed. You know, I was trying to get first, so I'll do whatever it takes.
Maybe that'll happen for me because I'm trying to do a show in September, October, and I've never done one.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna learn so much about your body.
What's the biggest things that you've learned from doing it?
Obviously, discipline, dedication on sticking to something that's gonna help you get to potentially like, you know, a trophy or whatnot.
Sure.
But I feel like what's helped me was the fact that, I'm gonna get leaner. I'm gonna feel not technically better because honestly, it's not really healthy long term because you lose a lot of nutrients. But I got out of.
What did you learn from doing the NPC show?
Oh, I basically learned what my body responds well with.
Yeah.
As far as carbs, protein, how much you should be taking in.
Okay.
Right. So for me, I respond better when I have a lot more carbs. That's gonna help me preserve a lot more muscle tissue and make me look leaner.
So when a lot of people like demonize carbs, like what do you have to say about that?
Carbs is not bad. We need that, especially if you train hard in the gym like me, because I do a lot of high intensity training.
Sure.
And I feel like carbs helps me drastically, you know, for more energy source, and then it also helps rebuild muscle tissue.
Okay.
Not just protein, but like carbs as well, you know.
So to all the people out there who demonize carbs and say every single carb is bad, that's completely false.
That's false, bro. Yeah.
So does that mean they could have French fries every night?
They can. It's just how much you. It just depends how much calories you consume and where you are as far as your body composition.
Does the type of carb necessarily matter?
Yes.
Like rice versus fries.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's scientists, or not scientists. There's people out there that say a carb is a carb is a carb is a carb is a carb. What do you have to say to that?
I mean, obviously, carb like fries. It's more salt, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more sodium, a lot more calories. The way they cook it, they use bad oil per se versus rice. Like it's a lot healthier. You know what I mean? So think of it like this: like you drive a Prius, or not I wouldn't say Prius. You drive like a Corolla, or what's another car? A GTR, right? A Nissan GTR, right?
We went from Prius to GTR, guys.
So I was thinking I'm not thinking so innovative, but like, yeah, let's say you have a Nissan GTR. If you want it to perform at its best, are you gonna put freaking diesel that's gonna mess it up, or like not perform as well, or are you gonna put Supreme Unleaded or whatever top of the line gas that you know what I mean? Like, so you got to think of it that way.
So, how do you feel about, I guess, like alcohol and working out and stuff? Because there's a lot of people that are like, oh, like, I can't have a six-pack while, like, drinking. And clearly...
It's all about balance at the end of the day, right? Like, for me, I live by the 80-20 rule.
Okay.
Like, you got to live a little bit, you know?
Can you explain the 80-20 rule for people who don't know?
So, 80 to 20 rule, guys, for example, is just like eating 80% healthy, 20% whatever you want. So, for me...
Whatever you want.
Yeah, anything. I mean,
anything.
You want to eat like gummy worms, like you want to eat like In-N-Out.
Yeah.
That's the 20%. But this doesn't work for everyone, especially when you're starting off in your fitness journey. Let's say you're like 30% body fat, right? As a guy, you're a little overweight per se.
For people who don't know, 30% is like pretty high.
Yeah, 30% is high, guys. So you're pretty big. So for those type of individuals, you don't want to live by the 80-20 rule. You want to kind of have a little bit of you want to set a standard starting off. For example, tracking your calories, counting your macros, right? Once you get to a body fat percentage of like, let's say me, I'm anywhere probably between 9 to 11%.
Sure.
I haven't checked recently.
Yeah.
Then the 80-20 rule will be more sustainable for you, and you'll be able to stay where you're at, if that makes sense.
So basically, if you're like overweight and you're trying to lose a ton of weight,
right.
The 80-20 rule is kind of not it.
It will work, is what I'm saying, but it's going to take longer to get to where you want to get to.
Yeah.
Versus if you track your calories, you're keeping yourself accountable and you're consistent, you're going to definitely see yourself.
What does tracking calories do for people or for you?
I mean, tracking calories, it just keeps you accountable as far as what you need to be consuming in order to lose body fat or build muscle. So, for example, I don't want to get into too much detail on the science of it, but basically, when you track your calories, right? If you want to lose, if your TDEE is
TDE, what's that?
So your total daily energy expenditure.
Okay.
So if you're like 3,000, if you need to consume 2,000 calories to maintain your body fat or your body weight, if you want to lose weight, you need to consume less than that.
Sure.
So especially if you're trying to like
burn
Yeah, burn
more calories.
Exactly, burn more calories. Obviously, if you want to gain more muscle mass, you need to consume more calories than 2,000 calories, if that makes sense.
Yeah. How does someone find their TDE?
There's a lot of calculations out there online, right? Like, the thing that I tell a lot of people is like, you're not gonna have that perfect number. Your body is not a robot, right? But it's
a lot of people treat like it though.
They do. I mean, which is cool, but like, you don't want to get too fixated on the number because at the end of the day, you're a human being. Like everyone, your body fluctuates throughout the day. So,
what do you call it? So, to the people who want to drink out there, they can.
You can drink. Come on now, guys. You just gotta make sure. This is the way I tell people. Like, for example, like clients I used to train, right?
Yeah.
If you want to have this the next day, or you want to have a couple drinks the next day, you better be sure. You better be ready to come back Sunday. If we train Sunday, because we're going hard, we're gonna burn that off.
Do you know who Tim Ferriss is?
Oh my God, the 4-hour work week.
Yeah.
Come on now, from the Bay Area, let's get it.
Have you heard about the 4-hour body?
I haven't heard of that.
So he wrote this book called The 4-Hour Body.
Okay.
And he talks a lot about the 80-20 principle as well. And he kind of put it into this diet called the fast carb diet.
Okay.
Sorry, slow carb diet. And it's basically, you could have your cake and eat it too. It's basically what you're talking about. It's like 6 days a week, you're basically eating just protein, vegetables, and beans. And on that 7th day, whatever day you choose, you could eat whatever the fuck you want. And like, it's so ideal because there's so many people who just can't have the discipline to eat good for 6 days. We're telling you that you could have whatever the fuck you want right now.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize that it's hard to just eat good 80% of the time.
Right.
You know? How did you develop that discipline, like, in your head?
I just felt like as long as I'm like working hard in the gym for my body physically, I just gotta keep that mentality that, okay, I have a fast metabolism. So even if I have a bag of gummy worms, I'm not gonna get fat the next day.
Because is that your go-to? Is gummy worms your go-to?
Man, I keep saying that.
You like gummy worms?
Yeah, I love Mike and Ike, Sour Patches.
Sour Patches?
I usually don't.
Love Sour Patch, bro.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Do you know who the Sour Strips?
Oh my God, isn't that supposed to be like a healthier version or something like that?
No, it's Max Tuning's.
Yeah, from Ghost or like from Athlete, like
one of his guys.
His friends, yeah. Okay.
It's the best sour candy I've ever had.
God.
Have you had it?
I've had it. It just tastes like gummy
worms. You don't
worms.
like it?
It's the same thing, honestly.
No, it's not.
It's just branding.
No, it's not.
But you know what's crazy? I swear, I feel like it's just a branding at the end of the day.
Could be.
Maybe
like Nikes feel better when you put them on, right?
Which one?
Nikes.
Oh hell yeah, of course. But lately, I've been switching to New Balances just the way they
New
feel.
Balances?
I don't know, bro. Like they're just when I tried them on, I'm like,
you're a 40-year-old dad, bro.
Man, that's the trend right now, bro. They're actually really nice. Yeah, really? I get a lot of compliments at the gym versus my Nikes. So I was like, man, I'm gonna get them.
All right, maybe New Balances it is.
Yeah, the new. So
the new. So what are we talking about?
We're talking about the 80-20 rule.
80-20 rule.
Yeah.
And you got how did you develop the discipline you're talking about?
Just making sure that I'm consistent in the gym. So, for example, if I'm eating a bag of gummy worms Saturday, or let's say if I eat a bag of gummy worms Sunday, Monday I'm going hard.
Gummy worms going hard.
Yeah,
guys.
I'm going hard the next day because I'm like, man, I ate this, so I'm just gonna have to like train harder to like really burn that off. But then you can't. It's subjective because look at my body fat. Like I'm very lean. So for someone that's like 25 to 30% body fat, you got to be more cautious about that because you still have a lot of layer of fat. You know, so like why would you put that into your body when you still have to lose a lot more?
Yeah.
You know, so
how did you get into it? How did you get into fitness? Like
that's a great question.
You weren't just born jacked.
You know what? So in a nutshell, 2008, that's when I first stepped into the gym. Okay. But I just worked out because
you've never been into the gym before.
No, I never. This was at Bally's Fitness. Ooh. It used to be 24-hour fitness.
Okay, I remember Bally's.
Yeah,
Bally's is OG,
hell
bro.
Yeah, dude. That's like right before 24 took
There
over.
was a lot of bodybuilders in Bally's.
Yeah, there definitely was. Yeah,
they were just like old school bodybuilders in Bally's. How old were you?
This was in 2008. Okay. So I was like a junior in high school.
Okay, so
that's when I first stepped into the gym.
High school, okay.
Yeah, but when I first stepped in, I'm like, man, this feels like a club. Like I love it. Like I get to like try all the gym equipment. There's a lot of the girls. So
fell in love with it right away.
Not really.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get to that. So basically, when I went to the gym, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to the gym because I know that in order to get bigger biceps, boost my confidence, I have to hit the gym.
Just the biceps.
Yeah, well, that was my goal back then. It was to get big biceps because I was skinny, man. I was like a really skinny guy.
Do you think biceps is more attractive than triceps or chest or back?
At the time when I was a young kid.
Just arms.
Yeah, the arms, right? So like, was like, yeah, I'm gonna hit the gym. But then what really tapped into me to really like be like, all right, this is actually a lifestyle now. It's not a hobby.
Yeah.
Because then junior year, it was a hobby.
Yeah.
Was 2012, 2013.
Okay.
That was like the summer.
Who got you into the gym? There's always someone who brought you.
Always, yeah. I mean, everyone, has this story. Like, it's always gonna be like your ex-girlfriend, right? Yeah. It was very toxic. Like,
oh, this is ex-girlfriend.
this is what, yeah. Yeah. So back in 2000, we were on and off 2010 to 2012, 13.
Okay.
And that's what got me into fitness. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'm tired of being skinny as fuck.
Yeah.
She told me, she was like, yeah, Alex, the reason why I don't want to be with you is because your height and you're skinny. And I'm like, dude, that really hit me. And I was so depressed. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show you. And then one time, what also got me into fitness was this video on worldstarhiphop.com. You heard of Frank Medrano?
Yeah.
Dude, this guy, he's a living legend. Like, he's what got me into what I wanted to do. I seen his videos. Man, this guy's doing human flags, handstand push-ups, front lever. He looks super lean.
So calisthenics, so you saw this guy and you were like, I want to learn
I was like,
that
I want to
shit.
be exactly like him.
Yeah.
And I started doing research. He had a workout plan laid out. Monday all the way up to Saturday. Sunday was a rest day.
Wow.
I followed that faithfully for 3 months. I got so lean. Friends and family were like, hey, Alex, I wanted to see if you can give me some advice. Like, why are you asking me for advice? I was always a skinny ass guy compared towards you,
So calisthenics was like the first big push.
That was the push to like really got me to where I'm like.
Can you kind of describe like what went on in this program?
Basically, so let's say Monday was like, I don't know what it was composed of, but basically composed of like, let's say 100 wide push-ups, 30 muscle-ups, 50 closed grip push-ups.
Okay, pause, rewind. You couldn't just bump up a muscle-up, could you?
What do you mean?
Like, it takes a while to learn.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm telling you, when I first started doing that, I only started with like maybe 3 reps.
So
but
you
then
could do one already.
I had I wouldn't say I couldn't do one already. I was using resistance band then.
Okay.
But I progressed so fast because I was eating clean at the same time.
And you were consistent.
I was
for 3
consistent,
months.
yeah, for 3 months. So like I started seeing my body change. Like I got a lot leaner. And keep in mind, during that time when I was working out, I was already posting on Instagram off of Android.
Really?
Yeah, it was so whack. So whack.
What inspired you to do that so early?
I mean, that my ex-girlfriend, she's the one that pushed me to like really. That was something that helped me get out of being sad and like depressed.
Okay.
Was fitness.
So this was after you guys broke up.
Yes, this was after.
Always about a girl, bro.
Yeah. But that's what really like amped me up. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm the man. Yeah. And the crazy thing is she obviously reached back. She's like, hey, long time no see. And I'm like,
how good is that feeling?
That was the best feeling. I didn't have to say nothing.
Don't need to say anything.
Yeah. So I was like, I told her, I was like, yeah, everything's good. I just want to say thank you for everything.
Yeah.
And I told her, just have a good life.
Yeah.
And then she kept trying to text back, whatnot. I kept ignoring it because I didn't want to deal with all that.
I love that, bro, because like you also appreciate that experience because that's what motivated you to get to where your body is and to like get you there. When I was in high school, I broke up with my ex-girlfriend as well. And we hooked up one time. Right. And then during the middle of it, she was like, I think you need to work out, like middle of it. So that fucked me up, bro, until recently. Until like I really got into fitness, because this whole entire time I was like, it's such an intimate situation, you know? Right. And they're just like, in the most intimate situation, you just don't feel good about yourself. No. I was like, fuck, bro.
Like it really hurts your ego, bro.
Hurts it. And like objectively, like we could be very fit human beings and stuff like that, but like that happened so long ago to a young man's brain. Like you could still feel that way at certain points, you know? And like to grow out of that, the only way to grow out of it is to be so fucking good or win so hard that like other people like they're like, Alex, like, can you give me some advice? I'm like, me? You know, like give you advice.
I'm like, man, you saw me as a skinny guy talking smack.
No, it's the best feeling and the only way to win. It's to get so good that like you're just not that person anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. I 110% agree. Yeah. I'm telling you guys. Trauma is going to be your best motivator in life if you really think about it, right? So for me, that was like a big trauma. That? So trauma, like, I think what really motivates people to, like, let's say, lose weight, right? For example, is there has to be a motivating factor behind that. And usually for a lot of people that I know, it's usually behind something that's very, like, dark in their life, right? So for example, let's say, I guess like a married woman, right? she has kids, right? Her motivating factor to lose weight is to be there for her kids, or because she has diabetes, right? I mean, it might not be traumatic, but it could be like a very dark.
It's like a reason.
A reason, yeah. But I think having trauma in life is so necessary because that's gonna either keep you down where you're at, or it's gonna motivate you to be like, man, I'm gonna get out of this, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get to where I want to go.
What's your definition of trauma?
Man, that's deep. Definition of trauma is pain that you could potentially get over.
Pain that you could potentially get over.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everyone's, I guess if you say quote unquote trauma, is subjective. Because like everyone's hardest heart is their hardest heart, right? So like for example, there's like a rich kid in Beverly Hills maybe, right?
Right.
And he got his phone taken away. Like that's the hardest heart that he's had versus like someone who like lives in the ghetto, right? And they're going through like a drug abusive thing with their parents. Right.
I see.
So like, it's hard to, in my opinion, to categorize like, oh, what trauma is, because like everyone experiences it differently. Some people don't have like a hard time. Like
Right.
their hard is like losing their phone. Like,
Okay, so what I can add to that is like, I guess it's the degree on like how motivated and how serious they are about getting to it. If that makes sense.
yeah, like how
Right.
hungry they are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Like if you were so hungry to get in shape.
I was dude, I ain't gonna lie, dude. That was like I'm like, man, this is gonna be like something I'm gonna be faithful to.
Yeah.
Just like going to church, right? I'm gonna be faithful to fitness because this is what it got me.
Yeah.
No one did it for me. I did it myself.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like you can't buy it.
Hell no, you can't buy it.
That's
You gotta
one
work
thing.
for it.
You gotta work for it. There's a lot of like the people out there who are taking Ozempic, the people who are
Yeah.
like paying for these expensive gym memberships or this and that. Like you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Like fitness,
There's no way around it.
there's no way around it. You got to do it.
Yeah.
And like that's one thing that I see a lot of people, successful people, they try to buy it. They like try to get the quick fix or the implant or
Right.
this and that. It's like the only way is through. The only way is doing these fucking shitty reps, not eating the fucking donuts like,
Yeah.
that you're craving, you know? So when you started posting with an Android, bro, like that was such a long time ago.
Yeah, keep in mind, this was 2012, 2013. Remember, we couldn't really post videos.
Yeah.
But I think we were already, but then it was only like 15 seconds max.
Yeah.
So I would look at my Instagram, like all the old like videos. I'm like, man, this looks so damn pixelated.
Yeah.
Because everyone had an iPhone.
Do you still have them?
My Android? Hell no, that shit's out.
No. Do you still have the Android
I think I
photos up on
deleted.
Instagram?
I think I deleted
You
them.
deleted
Yeah, I was like, I don't want people to see my old self.
Why not?
I don't know, because at the time, I was still cautious about like what people thought.
Yeah.
But now looking back, if I fast forward, I would have never deleted them because
'Cause you
now
see
I
the
want people.
progression.
Yeah, not for me, but for other people that follow me. I want them to see. Look, this is where I started from.
possible.
This is where I started.
Yeah.
Like it's funny because I actually posted an Instagram story about like content creation, for example, right?
Today,
So like,
I saw it.
yeah. So because it got to me because I'm like, man, a lot of people are actually going through this.
Do you want to explain what happened to you at the gym?
Yeah, so I was at the gym a couple of days ago, guys, and I was shooting content at the very slowest time. There was not a lot of people, but as I was shooting content, some gentleman came up to me. He was like, yo, Alex, I follow you on Instagram, man. I just want to say I love your content. And he asked me, he was like, yo, I'm just trying to get into content creation too. Like, how do I start? And I told him, you have an iPhone, right? And he was like, yeah. I was like, start posting off your iPhone. And he was like making excuses. So I was like, bro, like, no one ever starts off with the best stuff, right? You're always going to start off with something whack, like realistically speaking. Like I started with an Android. You have to start somewhere because as you start shooting the content that you love, you'll realize like, damn, I know what I can do to make it better on the next one. The following week, the next month. You start upgrading and you start knowing what to do and you see yourself growing and that's going to give you fire and motivation to keep posting content.
Yeah.
And I feel like people want the shortcut and you can't have it that way.
It's same thing with working. It's similar to working
With
out.
fitness, exactly.
You know, like that's such a good thing, bro. Because like I started this podcast 3 years ago, and I had one mic, and I had like earphones, like Apple headphones.
Like the white ones, the wired.
Yeah, the white
Damn.
ones, bro. And I was recording from an iPhone, and looking back at it now.
Do you still have it by any chance? Oh,
they're
damn.
all up, bro. They're all up.
What year was this?
2020, late 2020, November 2020.
Man, you upgraded big time.
Big time, dude. And the thing is, it's just like repetition. And like you said, once you max out whatever medium you're in, So if you max out in your Android, you're like, oh, okay, like let me get an iPhone. Okay, oh, iPhone's cool. Like now let me get a camera.
Right.
Oh, I know how to use the camera now. And the best thing about it is now you know the whole process of it. You know everything that goes into it.
Yeah.
And then you become an expert at it.
Exactly.
You know, because if I gave you your camera today and you've never filmed content before, and you're like, you probably were like, what the fuck? How do I do this?
Exactly.
You've had that whole journey of it.
Yeah.
And most people are just like, I just want that. But the thing is, like, you wouldn't know what to do with it.
Or you'd be kind of like scared, like, damn, this is like too new, like too much for me.
I like to compare it to like money, right? Like if I gave you $10 million, right? And I say like, use it to build your business or do whatever. Like, I don't know what I would do with 10 mil. I might know what to do with 100,000. Like you give me 10 mil, I have no clue what to do with it.
Like, I mean, you probably have an idea, but you don't know where to start.
I have an idea, but like maybe max 100K. Like I don't have the knowledge to how to invest that 10 million. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like you have an idea to use some money for something, but like that's a lot. That's a lot of money.
No, for sure.
Right? So if you compare that to like equipment or to anything like that, I'm just like, I don't know where I would start. Like if you give me this setup right now, like I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's a very good analogy.
Yeah, because
that's
like
a very good analogy.
Like I don't know, fitness, right? Like if you don't know how to do a front squat, clean and jerk a barbell right now.
Yeah.
You don't even know how to do front squat. Learn how to fucking squat.
Right.
You know?
People have the information, but I feel like people want it easy for them to just understand it right away, right?
You were talking about earlier about people not being informed to lose weight, right?
Right.
They're finding their information from the news or from their TV show and stuff like that. Why do you think that everything's a Google search away, in my opinion?
Right.
Information is
So easy to
so easily accessible. Why do people not search for it?
I think people are just lazy. I think people are just too exposed to like what they have in front of them. You know, it could be too like your social, like your surroundings, right? The people you hang out with that will give you like the perception of certain things, if that makes sense. You know?
What do you mean?
So for example, like for example, if I still stay back home in the Bay Area, right? Like my family, like they appreciate, they support me in what I do, like with fitness. But I feel if I still stay with my parents, like I'm still gonna be eating food here and there because it's so it's very accessible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Versus me living here alone in LA, like man, my mom doesn't have pancit like in the fridge waiting for me. I gotta cook that. I gotta like make my way out to the brows.
So you didn't live by yourself in the Bay at all? You just moved out to LA?
Yeah, I was still staying with my parents. I was like maybe 25, 26.
Dude, that's such a big jump. Like that's like what gave you the courage to do that? Because I don't know, like you're probably comfortable.
I was so comfortable. I ain't gonna lie though, like like my ex was the one that really pushed us to move to LA. She was living with me and my parents. So she's Italian. My ex at the time when she was living with me, you know, she came from like a white family. Her family's Italian. Okay. So Italian and Filipino are very different.
Sure. Especially authentic Italian and authentic Filipino.
Right. Yeah. Right? You know, so like, you know,
for you out there who know Italian families or Filipino families, you know.
Yeah, you guys know. So like Filipino culture is all about, hey, we got to keep the family together. Yeah. Italian family, all right, son, you're 18 years old. You get the fuck out.
Goodbye, off all plans, bro.
Yeah, you're moving out. You're not staying with the family. You gotta get your life together. So like, having her by my side and kind of give me the understanding of like, look, you're getting older, right? If you want to make something out of yourself, you can't do that living with your parents. So you got to do something about it. We got to do something about it. And we went. We thought about LA as one of the major destinations because, you know, fitness is like the biggest, I feel like, in LA.
Okay, rewind a little bit. How do you go from getting into fitness, doing all the calisthenics stuff, and be like, oh, I want to do fitness full time. I want to like create full time from just posting with your Android? Because like there's a lot of missing factors in there. Right. Yeah.
I already was training a little bit of clients here and there. When I was doing calisthenics, like I would train them at the park.
Like someone would ask you, like, "Hey, can you help me out?" Like, was that the beginning of it?
Hell yeah! Okay. So that's what started So this is a funny story. This was 2000. Man, I think it was 2015 or 14. Yeah. I was like, man, I could make money being a trainer. And this dude at the time, he hit me up for training. He's like, yo, I want to do training. And keep in mind, the minimum wage during that time was like $10 to $15 an hour.
In the Bay?
Yeah, in the Bay Area during that time. So
Isn't
I was like,
crazy?
man.
That's crazy. Imagine training for $10, $15 an hour, bro.
So whack.
We would not be able to live, bro.
So me at the time, I'm like, man, I get to work my own schedule. I get to set my own hours. So like I didn't have that much like confidence yet because I'm like, damn, like I don't have like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just barely starting off as a trainer. So I told her like, yeah, man, I could charge you $10 for 1 hour. And I'm like, in my head now, when I fast forward, I would have slapped the old me for doing that. Because I would like have it more equal to like what people get paid, like, you know?
Yeah.
But that was my first.
I started training my friend for $10 an hour too.
Oh my God, dude, that's the most embarrassing that I could think of. $10 an hour for a calisthenics session, teaching you how to do a muscle up, push up, and all that. But like fast forward,
you're not
like,
gonna get that any close now, guys.
I mean, if you do, man, you in like the best luck ever. But fast forward like a couple of years later, that's when I started enjoying training clients. So I'm like, man, I can actually make this into a career.
What did you enjoy about it?
I just enjoyed having the fact that I'm able to change someone's life, like physically and mentally.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best feeling when you could change their body. But then what people don't realize, when you change their body, you're also changing their mental aspect.
Yeah. Mental aspect meaning like they're
a lot happier.
Yeah.
They tell me like, man, like my wife loves me now. Like we're in bed. I'm like, dude, I'm like
before.
I mean, they did, but then they're more attractive per se.
Sure, yeah.
You know, so that's like the best feeling. And then like, there's this one client before I moved to LA. She was like one of my, she's one of, I trained her whole family, by the way. The
Once you get
husband,
one,
the wife.
you get all of them.
It's crazy. But this lady, she was like 54. And I remember like right before I left, I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm moving to LA with my ex. She knows about that, like the whole moving process. But the last day I seen her, I was like, yeah, it was great like training you. We could always keep in contact. She started crying. She's like, she cried like as if someone died.
Yeah.
So like when I saw that and she looked at me like, Alex, like I just want to tell you, bro, or I just want to tell you that you saved my life. Like, because, you know, like her family has a history of like, you know, health issues. But for me to change someone's life like that, it makes me feel so happy, bro. Yeah. Like,
regardless of money, like take the money
I don't
out.
give a damn about the money. Cause like I trained it. I would train clients like a little bit over the 1 hour session because I enjoyed it. Yeah. You know, and you build really a relationship with them.
And you really want to help them.
Exactly.
Like there's something to me about the giving process, right? Like about like you changing someone's life and showing them like how good they can be. Exactly. Like how healthy you can be, what the type of person that you can be for yourself and for others. Like it's a beautiful thing, bro.
It's the best feeling. That's what
it feels so good. Yeah. Like the feeling that you get from someone feeling good about themselves and you had a
major
impact on it. I'm just like, I don't think you could beat it.
That's what I love about fitness. Like this particular job or career. You know, you're able to do that.
So you start training people for $10 an hour at the park.
Yeah, and then I ended up training I ended up training at a city sports club. Okay. Same company as like LA Fitness.
Were your parents like, I don't know, Filipino family, right?
You already know how they are. My dad especially. Nurse, my mom was like, why didn't you nurse? My dad is like, why didn't you finish college?
Yes. Oh, you didn't finish?
I dropped out, man. I was like, man, I was going to do physical therapy.
Yeah.
And then after I got my associates, I looked at the, obviously, with the description of like how long it's going to take to be a physical therapist, it was going to take like 5 or 6 more years. Yeah. And keep in mind, I was already at the point where I'm like, dude, I do not enjoy this shit. Yeah. Like I can't sit down studying something I don't enjoy. Yeah. So I was like, man, this is like giving me, like I can't even imagine. I would have more anxiety. Like just having to study something I don't like. Yeah. And I think the worst regret that you can have is staying into something that you don't even, like let's say, like you study for it for years, right? 5 years. Yeah. You study it for 5 years, you get your degree, and you're supposed to get into that field. You don't even end up using it. Yeah. A lot of people don't even end up using it. So that's a waste of 5 years.
A lot of people.
It's sad, man. Like, yeah.
What gave you the courage to? I don't know. For me, at least my Filipino side, my dad's side, and like my grandparents, like, when are you gonna be a doctor? When are you gonna be a nurse? Right. For the longest time, every time I went home and I was like,
it makes you feel bad, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's like, damn, I'm not doing anything with my life.
Well, the thing is, like, I would tell them about all my clients and how I'm changing people's lives and stuff like that, and they were like, yeah. So when are you gonna be a doctor? And I'm just like, I know. I was just like, I'm trying to show you like the cool things that I'm doing right now.
But you know what though? Like, because they came from that era. Yeah. Keep in mind, guys, like this, like 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, like our parents, their main career-driven I guess, aspect would be going to college.
Sure.
Nowadays, if I had kids and I tell you guys, like, you don't need to go to college unless you want to, there's a field that you want to get into.
If you watch Suits so many times and you want to be a fucking lawyer,
then
you go fucking do it.
At the end of the day, it's doing what you love.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely speaking. Not because of, like, how much you're going to be making. You know, because the college, obviously, the institution, that's how it is. Like, it's a business. At the end of the day, they don't really care about you. Like, they just, I know a lot of my friends that, like, have to pay back loans. I'm like,
a lot. Dude, I have a friend's mom who's, I think she's almost 60 and she just finished paying off her loans.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is
just
so
to
cool.
have that shadow hovering over you from most of your life. It's like,
That is crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what gave you the courage to, like, I guess, drop out to chase your passion? Because, like, dude, for someone who, like, grew in a similar household of, like, Filipino parents or Asian parents, like, that must, I didn't have the courage to do that. Like
I think social media, Instagram.
Really?
Yes. Because I started following a lot of, like, people in LA, like 2014, 15. I was watching a lot of YouTube videos.
Who's your YouTube guys?
Man, I mean, back in the day, it was like Frank Medrano, Bar Stars, a lot of the calisthenic guys.
Oh,
the guys in New York.
guys.
Yeah, Hannibal for King. Oh my God, dude, those guys are so lean.
Really?
Yeah, you guys got to look them up. If you look at their physique, strictly calisthenics. Yeah.
I think the beginning people I did for calisthenics was Marcus from Bondi Beach. Do you know who that is?
Marcus. Is he an Asian guy?
No, Australian dude.
Australia. What's his Instagram handle?
Marcus from Bondi or something like that.
I don't.
Chris Heria? Did you watch
Chris
Heria?
Yeah, but he wasn't really doing a lot of YouTube then. He was just still like, I think still like into
the one guy he used to
calisthenics
work
competition.
with. Starts with an O.
From Miami.
Yeah.
He's like, he does a lot of planches. Oh my God. Those guys are so freaking experts, man. Like, they're really like.
If you guys don't know what a planche is, how would you describe a planche?
That's something that I would want to achieve in life.
Oh, you
like
don't have
in
it?
calisthenics, I was not able to. Because I feel like that takes the longest to actually learn. You think about it, a lot of people that I know that has learned the planche itself, that was able to master it, they went through some sort of like major injury, like a bicep tendon tear. So for me, I'm like, man, I ain't trying to risk my bicep tendon for a damn planche. So I stopped it from there. So handstand push-up is the
Before we continue, a planche is holding yourself in a plank position without your feet
on the ground.
Right?
Oh my God.
The best way to describe straight arms.
Straight arms. So all your pressure is on your bicep tendon and your shoulder, your whole body weight.
It's the opposite of a front lever, right?
Yes, basically it's like flipped. Or like, exactly.
Okay, so if someone wanted to get into fitness, what would you prescribe them to do? Like,
regardless of like your fitness level or like your goal.
Does it start in the gym? Does it start in the calisthenics realm? Does it start with what is it?
It can start anywhere, wherever you have access to a squat, pull up, push up, any type of rotational core movement, lower body.
If someone's just getting started, what is, I guess, your priority movements if you had to choose one for a pulling motion, pushing.
Okay.
Lower, what is it?
For anyone?
For anyone. For someone who's trying to get into fitness.
I mean, you can start
who's just starting.
The basics, right? Like, you guys can start with a push-up. Pull-up is very hard for a lot of people to start off with.
A lot of people can't do it.
Yeah, so you can start with a lat pull-down, bent over row. These are all utilizing either a dumbbell or a machine. For lower body, you can do squats, bodyweight squats, lunges, right? For your core, you can start with like the basic plank. Then you can proceed into other different variations, or even like a flutter kick if you want to hit your lower abs, hollow holds if you want to get more advanced. So just starting off with like body weight is really good.
What's your favorite movements of each thing?
That's hard, bro. Like, I mean,
if you had to choose one, gun to your head
for each of those components.
Yeah, push pull legs.
Ooh, that's a good one. Obviously, for a pull, it'll be like either like a pull to a muscle up or just a regular pull up.
Okay.
For push, handstand push-ups. Because not a lot of people can...
Bro, I want that so bad.
Yeah, handstand push-ups. Freestanding, not just against the wall.
Handstand's is hard.
Yeah, it's hard just like anything else, but I feel like if you have the foundation of having a strong shoulder, core, and like your traps and your triceps, I think you'll be able to progress into doing it in less than 3 months if you have the right program.
Really?
Yes.
I took Taylor's handstand course, and I'm just like...
Were you able to get it?
I mean... 5-6 seconds of like holding it.
That's still something.
Yeah, I mean, like, So I'm prepping for a powerlifting meet right now, and like I could do a 175 pound overhead press.
What is that on each side?
A plate and 210s.
That's really good.
For like 3-4 reps.
That's good.
Yeah. And my bench is 265.
That's really good.
And I only weigh 158, 160.
Isn't that crazy how like you're able to lift that amount of weight, but you can't hold your own body weight with a handstand?
No, that's why it pisses me off, bro.
When you think about it, it's all mental. It's just training and really increasing your muscle memory.
You cannot tell me it's all mental.
It's not. A lot of it is mental, but a lot of it has to do.
Explain the mental part.
Because like you think about it, right? Like the more you do something repetitively, like let's say jump ropes.
Okay.
Right? The more you do it, like your body just naturally could do it more and more each time you do it, right?
Sure.
Same thing applies to this. Like I feel like the more you do it, especially like your mental focus, and just making sure everything is aligned, like I feel like you can hold it. You know?
So just practice it.
It's just practice over and over.
Yeah.
I tell a lot of people, because a lot of people come to me at the gym and be like, yo, how do you get a handstand? And I usually, because like for me, I don't like to sit down and tell you everything, because like first off,
takes a lot of time.
Yeah, you're not paying me, and then I'm trying to get my workout. I'm trying to get my workout. When I go to the gym, that's my main focus, to get in and out a lot of times.
Really?
But like depending how I feel, or like how you, like where you are as far as your fitness level, I'll give you some like nuggets, you know, and I'll tell people, I was like, all right, so what you need to do if you want to hit handstand, guys, hit these 3 things: handstands against the wall, pike push-ups, and frog stands. I keep it short and sweet.
Frog stands.
If they want the
frog hold, like on your elbow?
Yes.
Why that?
Because it adds a lot more isometric hold on your traps, your shoulders, and a little bit of your triceps. It's just like learning how to get your core stronger when you're starting off, right? What's the basic movement that people need to learn how to do? Is a plank, and that's an isometric hold. Sure. So for your handstands, a good way to build like a foundation would be
isometric hold.
Yeah, it could even be a handstands against the wall.
Yeah.
Right? But I usually include those 3. Handstand hold against the wall, frog stands, and then what was the other one that I said? Pike push-ups.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what a pike push-up is, it's basically like you're an upside down L handstand push-up, but like your feet are against a bench or a wall. Right? Dude, how long did it take you to get that?
I can't say. It's
don't
really
remember?
hard. Actually, I do remember when you get so frustrated at the gym trying to learn. This was in 2014. I would like constantly fail. Like literally fail every time I would hold a frog, like a freestanding handstand. Yeah. I would fall so many times. Then the next day my lower back would be kind of like achy, because like the way that I tilt my body. So I'm like, fuck my. But then I'm like, my mindset's like, I'm getting there and getting there longer. And I would start timing myself. Like I noticed like after a few weeks, I'm like, damn, I'm holding 30 seconds. Then the next couple of weeks, I'm holding 45. And it starts getting longer and longer. But I just remember this was at Gold's Gym in San Jose. I would train in like next to the squat rack. There's like the little open space. And I remember there was like a girl like doing squats right next to me. She would always see me and look at me. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get this handstand push it, because every time I would fail, I'd be like, fuck! Like hella loud. Like that sounds.
You would get mad.
I was so passionate about it, bro. Like I was so like, dude, I'm so fixated on that. And that's why I tell people, I'm like, you guys got to go through some shit before you get whatever you're trying to get to in life.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's what I had to go through.
Yeah.
Dude.
And no one sees that, bro. They just see your pretty videos.
I mean, except that girl. That girl saw me.
She saw you. She's like, I'm a fan.
So I remember that guy in 2014 saying fuck and falling back and forth. Dude, I was so passionate.
Before we continue there, I want you to finish on how like you really like were able to decide and follow that passion or get into fitness, regardless of the family stuff. Like that's hard, bro.
It is. It was so hard, especially because like, you know, I was living under the roof of my mom and dad, and my dad was his mind is so strong. I'm like, you need to go to college, otherwise you ain't shit, basically, right?
Yeah, so and that's a shitty feeling.
Yeah, and I, you know, like that's it's hard. So like, especially with me and my dad, we kind of bump heads. So like, I don't like talking too much about like, yeah, dad, this is what we do on social media, because his mind's already fixated on what he wants.
Yeah.
Or like
he doesn't understand it.
Yeah, he doesn't really understand it, which I don't. I feel like he does now, because every time I go home now, like for example, like, you know, obviously YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, they weren't as prominent as they are now. So every time I go home now, like I see my dad on YouTube. I'm like, damn, I'm like, Dad, what are you watching? He's like watching like like fishing stuff. I don't know, it's weird. And he's in a wheelchair, but he used to love fishing. Yeah. You know, so like I think he has an understanding now, because every time I go home, one thing that I do every time I go home is I never talk about work, what I'm doing in LA. Because because I don't want them to feel bad. Because like, you know, I'm living this life here in LA. I'm doing what I love, right? I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of like if you're back home and you hear that, they don't want to hear too much of that.
Yeah.
So when I go back home, I just like to spend time with them, talk about like, you know, stuff
How they're doing.
Yeah, how they're doing.
Yeah. I
don't care about bringing work in unless they ask me.
Yeah.
And when they do ask me, I'll tell them.
Yeah.
And it feels good to know that they admire what I'm doing, you know.
Dude, there's something different about doing what you love every single day.
What do you mean?
Like,
what do you mean different?
I mean, a lot of people don't, right?
I don't know how to explain the feeling.
And you wake up, at least for me, I train my clients. I talk to really cool people. I make awesome cocktails.
Yeah.
And like, regardless of the monetary part, if you're making enough to support yourself, like, but if you enjoy your day,
My God, bro, I love it.
it's a beautiful thing, dude. And I've worked with a lot of people, like Cougar clients, who don't enjoy the day. They talk about their shitty meetings. They talk about
why.
their cubicles. They talk about them sitting down all day.
Yeah.
And like, sure, like you're monetarily well off. Cool. Like it provides you that. But to fully be enjoying every single aspect, I mean, I just recently got there and it's undescribable.
Yeah, you have to actually experience it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't think it's possible though. They're like, I hate my job.
Yeah, they feel like it's too late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To like, okay, do something I love. Because they already built like this establishment of their career.
Like when you said, dude, I love my life. You just said that, and I like what I do.
I do,
and
man. I ain't gonna lie.
And it's so believable. Like I could tell because it's true. Like you just said that, and there's no hesitation. No, I was like, damn, that's so sick. Yeah. Like to do it every day. Like, do you feel?
You know how you know you're living the best life is like when you look forward to Monday.
Yeah. No,
I look forward to Monday.
It's not even look forward to Monday, bro. It's look forward to every single day.
Yeah, every day. That's what I'm saying.
Every day.
You know how people are like, man, I look forward to the weekend.
Yeah.
Man, I feel bad because a lot of those people say they look forward to the weekend. Man, you must have a fucked up last weekday. So you get to enjoy 2 days. Oh my God.
Yeah, when people live for the weekend, I'm just like, damn,
which is
bro.
cool. I mean, I still live for the weekend too, but I live for every day.
Joke's on you guys. So you moved to LA and I don't know, did it take off for you? Was it quick? Was it easy?
Hell no, that shit was not easy, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. So when we moved to LA, this was 3 months before COVID.
Oh shit. Worst timing.
Worst timing. But when we first moved to LA,
So 2019. No, March.
end of
January.
2019.
January. It was like January.
December 2019.
Okay.
I moved like I think 3 days before Christmas.
Ooh.
Yeah, or I think a little
Okay.
bit after my birthday. My birthday's December 18th.
Okay.
But I remember when I first moved to LA, I barely had enough savings. I only had savings for an extra month of rent, which is like $2,000.
Fuck.
You know, and
That's
my
it.
ex was living with me at
That's
the
it.
time. Yeah,
That's
so
all
we
you
were
had.
like we were out job hunting. I applied at like F45. There's this gym called, I forgot what it's called. I didn't apply at Roy. I applied at F45, 24-hour Crunch. I applied at Equinox, Dog Pound, and then the gyms reached back, but I wasn't interested because I had options. So I ended up like getting an interview at Equinox in West Hollywood.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, West Hollywood, there's a lot of
The one on
celebrities.
Sunset?
Yeah, the one on
Okay.
Sunset. So I got hired there for like, I think like 2 weeks.
Okay.
I went through the whole process.
Yeah.
Then during that time, Dog Pound hit me up.
Uh-huh.
Keep in mind, guys, Dog Pound is a celebrity gym. It's one of the most, it's actually the nicest aesthetically.
It's super aesthetically
Very
pleasing.
nice, yeah, in West Hollywood.
If you look at Alex's page, it's like that everywhere in Dog Pound. It's like dark,
like the
dim
aesthetics,
lighting,
yeah,
bro.
the lighting. I'm all about aesthetics, you know. So
Most people who take their shirt off there, if you're relatively fit, you look better.
that's why I film in a lot of those gyms because you look 10 times better.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's where I got hired at. So I was like, okay, I'm leaving freaking Equinox because
Yeah.
I couldn't stand going on the floor. Hey guys, do you need training? Hey, your form is messed up. So basically, I'm a trainer, so I didn't want to do all that.
Floor shifts are tough.
Floor shifts, I hated that.
And you get paid minimum wage for floor shifts.
And you see some celebrities looking at you like trying to hunt for like a client.
Yeah.
It made me not feel good.
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, so I ended up getting an interview at Dog Pound during
Okay.
that time. I got hired at Dog Pound the next couple of days.
Nice.
And I just wanted to train there because I knew at the time Justin Bieber was training there. A lot of celebrities.
A lot of celebrities train at Dog Pound.
A lot of celebrities train there. So I was like, yeah, I want to train celebrities.
Yeah.
So that's what got me into sustainable income.
Okay.
But I was only there for 3 months because COVID hit. They let go of the new trainers. I was one of the new trainers.
Oh, shit.
It was hard, bro. Like, I just got a job. I was going to make I think I made 3 paychecks. But then I'm like, this is still not enough to cover the next month's rent.
I know.
And COVID hit. Fuck. So they said all the new trainers we're gonna have to let go, unfortunately, because.
What did you do?
Bro, I moved back home.
You went back to SF?
No, to San Jose. I moved back
San Jose
because I couldn't afford it.
Fuck.
And then my ex at the time was like, Alex, we're back here at your parents. We got to figure things out again. And I'm like,
how long were you in LA for?
I was only in LA for 3 months.
Fuck.
It's the worst feeling, yo. And I had to move back home. So then I moved back home, and then I'm like, my ex at the time, she was like, dude, we're back here again. We moved to LA for a reason. So I was like, all right, we'll figure things out. And that's when I was like, okay, it's COVID hitting. COVID hit. There's no gyms open, right? You had to make money somehow.
Yeah.
That's when they had online training mentorships.
Okay.
And that's when I did an online training mentorship.
I think I saw from one of your buddies, right?
Yeah, from one of my buddies that I met from Equinox.
Yeah.
During the interview process.
I remember. He was like a manager over there or something too.
No,
right?
he was like an actual trainer, but we became hella cool.
Okay.
But he left like after, like I think during COVID, and he did online training.
What did you learn from that mentorship?
Oh my God, I learned how to actually close sales through Instagram.
Through Instagram?
Yeah, cold DMs, how to do like post stickers, like how to like reach leads, potential clients, what to post in your content in order to reel in clients or have people as like, you know, want to buy your service.
If someone wants to do that, like what were the things that you learned there that they could help them?
I would say cold DMs, right? How to write valuable captions in your content.
Okay.
Posts, testimonials, right? Post a ton of value that's going to relate in fitness, and that's going to help me as a potential client.
Can you give me an example?
Nutrition advice. You can talk about like certain workouts you should be doing in order to lose weight. You can talk about mindset. So the 3 things I learned in this mentorship program was fitness, obviously the working out component, nutrition, mindset, and accountability. You know, because a lot of people that don't get to their fitness goals, they miss either one of those pillars.
One of those pillars.
You know,
there's a lot of people hate on like I guess coaching programs or mentorship programs and stuff like that. Clearly it's helped you, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
What do you have to say to those people who are just like, oh, like I don't need a coach, I don't need a mentor, this and that, blah blah blah?
I think if your mindset's like that, it's gonna be really hard for you to get to your health and fitness goals. Especially keep in mind during COVID, you can't train with an in-person client. I mean, it's possible, but it's risky at the same time because you don't want to have exposure, right?
Yeah.
So like, especially if you don't have self-accountability, it's gonna give you a struggle. And I think online training really tapped into that market to helping clients through Zoom, FaceTime, not being able to see you in person.
Yeah.
You know.
The one thing that I always loved about, like, if I don't know how to do something, like if I don't know how to do handstand, I'll buy a handstand course. If I don't know how to XYZ, like I bought this guy's kettlebell course because I wanted to learn how to flip kettlebells. The thing is, like, it gives you the knowledge without the scars, right? It gives you it's like, yo, here's the shortcut. I'm going to spend $100 to learn this knowledge that I could charge $100 for. Right. And it's just it's a speedway. It's a fast track. And a lot of people just like talk down on like a coaching or a mentorship or stuff like that. And it's clearly done a lot for you, right? So like once you took that course, like what was the next step after that?
I think after a while I got a little burnt out.
Yeah, burnt
like
out.
With
Were you in LA or still in San Jose?
I was in LA. I moved back to LA after because I'm
How
like,
many months? How many months were you back at home?
I was only back home for like 3 or 4 months.
Fuck yeah, bro.
I moved back to LA in June or July because I'm
So
like,
you bounced back.
Yeah, because the online training was popping off. I'm like, I'm making hella money now. I'm moving back.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it took 3 to 4 months to move back to LA. I got a spot in West Hollywood.
Okay.
At the time with my ex.
Center of it.
Yeah.
Center of everything.
But I wasn't working at Dog Pound no more. Okay. I was long gone. I'm like, man, I'm doing this online training.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it took 3 to 4 months.
How was that experience versus in person? Did you like it?
I like it more because you have the financial freedom. You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. or 6:30 a.m. for a damn client, especially if it's a no-show. That's the worst feeling. Like,
so it wouldn't be like FaceTime or anything. It was just programs.
No, it would. So I had 3 FaceTime clients that I took from Dog Pound.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 FaceTime clients that I would train weekly.
Okay.
And then I had my online training clients. I wouldn't train them. They would buy my program online. Yeah. And I would keep them accountable, do weekly check-ins once a week.
That's super easy, bro.
Yeah.
Do you still do that?
So I'm reformulating my training app right now.
Yeah.
So I am going through
It's coming out soon, right?
It's coming out very soon. Yeah. So I'm excited for that because now it's just going to be subscription. I won't really need to be there for them.
Yeah.
If you want to buy my program because you love what I do, that's great.
Sure.
You know, so I like that aspect of it. I think it got to the point where I felt like there's more to it outside of online training for me. You know, like now I'm working with big brands.
Yeah.
Like I got my first big brand last year in December. The crazy thing too is I manifested it the beginning of last year.
What do you mean you manifested it?
I write my goals every 3 months.
Okay.
And one of the
Every
goals,
3 months?
Every 3 months because I feel like it's more achievable for me.
So you believe in writing goals down? You believe
Hell
in setting
yeah,
goals?
dude! You plan ahead. You don't plan to fail. And one of the planning is writing it down.
Okay.
You know, so I wrote it down. One of the
What was
goals
the goal?
was to like link it with Nike,
Okay.
some sort of brand deal or a project or campaign per se, right? And before December end of last year, dude, Reebok hit me up. It wasn't Nike, but it was Reebok.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I was like really like, damn, this is freaking crazy. I was trying to manifest Nike, but it ended up being Reebok.
How did you learn about manifesting? Or can you explain what manifesting is?
Basically, you're trying to have this vision of reaching something in your life.
How did you learn about it?
I mean, I was reading a lot of books during after I split with my ex that moved with me to LA.
Yeah. What
I was
books?
going through a dark time. I went through a lot of books. I went through You Are a Badass. I read all of her books. I read Relentless by Tim Grover. Winning by Tim Grover.
Tim Grover's the go.
Oh my God. Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich is
How to
good.
Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah. There's something powerful about reading. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I tell a lot of people the same way how exercise is for your body.
Reading is for your brain.
Exactly. I'm telling you, man. The manifestation, affirmations, and reading for your brain.
All together.
People lack that.
So I have a tough relationship with goals now because I used to set goals a lot, and then you would go past the time of like, oh, I want to achieve this by this date.
Right.
And it doesn't happen. And then I kind of like let myself down. Right. So like my whole philosophy now is just to get better every single day. Right. Because if you do something towards a ambition or goal you have every single day, like you're getting closer to it. Right. So it doesn't matter if you necessarily hit it. Like also, I think goals
you
might
don't
be
have to hit it.
I feel like goals might be limiting for you. Like say you hit it. What if you could have got this much further? Right. So, but clearly goals have like worked for you. Like every 3 months, that would put a lot of pressure
Right.
on me.
Keep in mind, I didn't reach my goals every 3 months, but there's at least one thing out of like what I've written down that I've achieved. You know, and I think that's so powerful. You might not get everything that you want because maybe it's not the right time for you. You know, so
What was that feeling like when you wrote down like get this brand deal by Nike and then Reebok hit you by that time? Like,
I was happy, bro. It was just shocking at the same time because I sat back on my desk and I'm just like, damn, this thing actually really happened before the end of the year. A couple of weeks before 2023 ended, bro. Like, I'm like, dude, Reebok hit me up. It was on an email. Yeah. And I made sure that it was legit, and they sent me the contract and everything. I'm like, damn, this is what's
So I guess how did you get into social media and content creation? Because from what you just said, it was like online training.
No, it actually started from my Android.
What do you mean?
When I started posting consistently on Instagram, I started in 2013. I was shooting content, right, for the Android.
So it's been over like a decade now.
Yeah, over a decade.
And you've been doing it every single week, every single day?
Yeah, I love this,
for over
bro.
a decade. What do you love about it?
I just love having to know that, like, damn, obviously I'm gaining followers, right? At the same time, I'm doing what I love, bro. Yeah. Like, sometimes on the weekends, people like ask me, like, what do you do on the weekend? And sometimes I'm kind of embarrassed to tell them. I'm like,
why are you embarrassed?
Because it's like, I do what I do already. Like, you know, people expect me to, like, go travel or, like, go out partying, you know, like, West Hollywood, LA.
I'm filming bicep curls, boy.
Yeah, I'm about to film content. What are you talking about? That makes me happy.
So you love it.
I love this shit, dude. 110%.
What do you love filming about fitness content?
I just love having to film because it's like, first off, I look good. I ain't gonna lie.
I look good. Look at me.
Yeah, look at me. And I do the workouts very professional and very good form and technique. Yeah. But then having to like film everything.
Yeah.
It's not just you filming the workout. Like you're basically a videographer at the end of the day. And how you know that is because like people are actually reaching out to you. Hey, who filmed your videos? And I'll be like, it's me.
How did you learn videography?
YouTube University.
YouTube University.
Yeah. I didn't take no courses. YouTube University.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it all started. I started off with Adobe Premiere Pro. Then my Windows laptop died out on me. I'm like, fuck, I'm not dealing with a Windows laptop. Then I got a MacBook.
What's your creative process like?
What do you mean creative process?
I apologize if this is incorrect, but from what I see, your social media posts are really cool, really aesthetically pleasing, and really technical, but it's not the main exercises you do to build your physique.
Right.
Right. So, for example, today you did that crazy core workout on those boxes. Right?
Oh, I love those ones.
It's fucking sick.
The next day, my external obliques were sore.
Yeah, but I mean, I could be wrong. You're not doing that every day for core.
I do it for the clout.
It's for entertainment, right?
No, but seriously, guys, like a lot of these movements I've done for myself.
Okay.
You know, in like a training regimen or whatever.
Sure.
Like I'll add it into my training.
Yeah.
I don't do the same thing every day.
Okay, for example.
Because like it gets boring. Like switch it up here and there.
You're not doing muscle ups with the barbell on your feet every single day.
The only reason why I post that on there is obviously because like it looks impressive.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's to like tell the client, the audience that's watching, look, you can do this too if you put in the work.
Sure.
You know, I put in over 1,000 reps, over 1,000 muscle-ups to be able to do. I think I did like a 30-pound total body weight barbell workout with the plates on each side, or I think it's 40. I forgot. So that's only 2 reps that I did.
Yeah.
I can't do no 10 reps of that. Hell no. It's just for like Instagram.
But my point is like, how the fuck do you think about that? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do a muscle up today with a barbell on my feet.
I don't know. You just start. The thing is, when you start making content creation, you start having a lot more creativity based upon what you see on Instagram, right, of other people that you follow, or just like based upon what they have at the gym. And
so
you
my point is like, what's your creative process? Do you like sit at home at night and I'm gonna write down every single thing that comes? Yes.
I don't have my phone on me, but I have a notepad of like either inspiration of what I see on Instagram, or I write down exactly what I'm gonna do a day before. Because when I do that, especially for content creation, I'm in and out.
Yeah.
Like if I go to the gym, I know exactly what I have to do. I'm not at the gym, man. What am I gonna record next? That's time consuming.
Sure.
For me, I try to be very efficient.
Know.
I already know, yeah.
How?
Especially with people I collaborate with.
How far forward is that?
It could be like a day before, or it could be like week before. Yeah, a week ahead.
So like, do you have like all your posts for the next 30 days out?
Yeah, I have so many videos that I have not edited yet, but I have that in the vault.
Do you edit everything yourself too?
Hell yeah. I love the way I edit.
Yeah.
But now that I'm realizing, it's like I'm noticing that I'm getting a little tightness in my shoulder, my chops. And when I see my sports massage guy, he tells me, he's like, man, it's probably because of all the sitting and editing.
Yeah.
You know, so like now, I think as I start to scale a lot more and become busier, I want to hire an editor down the road.
What do you call it for? Your edits are very unique in the sense of the transition is the same in a lot of videos.
Yeah, I try to keep that theme. That's just me.
It's a theme. What's the importance of just like having that theme consistent over a long period of time? Because like
it's gonna make go ahead. It's gonna make you like known. Like damn, I know this guy because of his transitions. Right? There's always gonna be some sort of trademark from each content creator.
So you think the editing style and everything is just as important or even more important than the workouts and stuff itself?
No, I think it's even, you know, but I just do that just to be a little bit more unique. Because how many people are doing the same like text graphics, the same like cinematic, all right guys, if you want to go hard, go home, little writing with the dark dimmed like content. You know, how many people are doing that?
Yeah.
Versus people that are doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. How long does it take you to do one post?
Like like a 15-second reel, for example?
Sure.
Like 10 minutes maybe.
That's it for the edit and everything?
Yeah.
That's quick, bro.
Including like a music that I drag from like a trending audio on Instagram.
That's
15
quick.
minutes on average.
So do you use the trending audio or do you like get your own audio to do it?
It depends. It depends on like the nature of the content. Like for example, I did a drone video yesterday.
Okay.
Obviously I use a song that's gonna match each movement and like the clip transition.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just whatever I feel is gonna be right for that content.
So it's just like intuition.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Nah, that's
just
the thing. Isn't that great? Being a content creator, you get to do what you want. You don't have to have someone tell you, hey, nah, we don't want you to put Drake. We want you to put Kenny G.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's whatever you want.
It's whatever I want, whenever I want it.
What do you think makes you so compelling for people to follow and watch and pay attention to?
I think because I'm very detailed.
Okay. Can you
And for
explain?
me, so I'm very detailed. Like when I shoot content, like I got to make sure it's the right angle. You're not too close to me. I got to make sure I'm not tilted when you're filming me, for example. I just got to make sure that the workouts make sense, right? So if you're doing a full body workout, you don't want to have to do 3 leg workouts. Where's the other upper body, lower body, upper body and core component? You only did 3. So it has to make sense. But I also think too, like coming from me, I'm like a perfectionist when it comes to it. That's why I love editing my own videos and doing it my way, because it's like some people, I don't know, it's
half-ass it.
Say that, yeah. Well, it's not even half-assed. They don't understand what I like as far as my content. Yeah. So I think like for being a perfectionist, that's what comes with it. Like I know it's bad too.
Why is it bad?
I don't know, because I feel like it might not be the only way that's gonna help you grow.
What other things do you think could make you grow faster or better?
I think just having more knowledge. Having more knowledge, and then having someone by your side.
Of what?
I guess how to make your content even better.
Yeah.
Right? Because it might be just social media better, but it might not be cinematic better, or what movies or, bigger brands might want to hire you for per se. So I'm not saying that I have it tapped in. I tapped into the algorithm because I haven't, I'm still learning as I go. But I just know one thing: as long as you're consistent, you put high valuable content, and you're bringing value, and it just looks sick. People are gonna mess with it. At the end of the day, I'm just telling you for real, right?
Yeah,
would someone rather watch an iPhone 15 Pro or someone with like a Sony mirrorless camera, just like my camera? What's gonna be more appealing? Obviously, the Sony.
Who knows how to work with a Sony?
I do.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like definitely you need to understand the equipment for sure. That's so interesting, bro, because I look at your content and it's just captivating. I can't really describe it.
Yeah, I love that feeling. Thank you.
You're welcome. Because like there's a lot of people out there who probably know just as much as you, or maybe even more.
Right.
But like that skill set of learning how to capture the content that you produce in an aesthetically pleasing way is the differential factor, in my opinion.
I see.
Just from like me looking at other people's content.
Right.
Like, do you study other people?
Hell yeah, I study.
Okay.
I've obviously networked and collaborated with some big people, right?
Yeah.
And they gave me some insight and some advice. And some of those bigger people even told me, like, Alex, like, you're doing it, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. I see you. Like, you grew from...
What's that one guy's name? Guy you just collabed with.
There's a lot of guys I collab with. What is he? Black, white, Asian?
Black.
Like a recent guy?
Recent.
Gaines by Gaines. Gaines by Gaines. Yeah, he's dating Victoria Monet. Yeah.
He's
a cool guy.
He trains someone in this building.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's crazy.
Small
You know what's
world.
crazy? Like, I've been following him since 2000. This is before I moved to LA.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him on the DM. Like, I had like 10,000 followers at the time. And I think he had over 100,000 followers. Yeah. And I actually reached out. I was like, hey, bro, like, I'm going to be in LA. I wanted to do collaboration. Like, we have the same fitness style. Didn't respond back. And then now, like, I think he started following me, I think, not too long ago. Like, maybe like 2-3 months ago.
Sure.
And I'm like, it's crazy to think from 2019 when I reached out to you to now, you're reaching back to me because you want to link up.
That's a cool feeling, right?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I don't have anything wrong against people that ghost me at the time, because it might not be the right time for me to like collaborate with these people. You know what I mean?
What's the importance of collaboration?
Obviously to get exposure, right?
Okay.
It's a community thing. So like you're not only gonna gain traction from their followers, but you're also gonna gain traction from my followers too. You know, so it's like a win-win situation.
Why is it so pleasing though to see like you and another grown man do a synchronized workout together?
I don't know. So think about it like this. The way I tell people when I collaborate with people, look, guys, I don't tell everyone this, but like when I collaborate with people, I think of it like a dance move.
No,
or like
for
a
sure.
dance competition.
Have
right?
you danced before, bro? Because you can move,
Yeah,
bro. You can move.
I mean, when I'm at the club, I'll dance. You know, I
Yeah.
turf a little bit because I'm from the Bay. You know, like I do a lot of that, like the Dougie, snap your
Yeah,
fingers.
yeah.
Like I do a little bit of like dances, but I don't do it professionally. I do it for fun because I enjoy it.
Well, I feel like your videos, bro, are, I mean, they're choreography, bro.
Yeah, now that I think of that, yeah,
dance.
that's true. Yeah,
They are dance. Like, if you define dance as moving your body in an artistic manner, that is your videos.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I don't know why I don't think of that. I mean, I have thought about it, but not from like a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm coming from like a fitness standpoint.
Yeah.
Like I only do it because this is how you do exactly every movement.
You're right, but like if you look at a dancer, what do? They do movements to a song. And if you look at your content, you're doing movements to a song.
Exactly. That's how I think about it when I collaborate with people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I make sure the music matches. I make sure we're in point.
Yeah.
Because it's aesthetically nice, but at the same time, when people see that you're doing everything like in sync,
Yeah.
like it just looks like you want to stay on the video longer.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just there's something about people doing something in sync together at the same time that's just so impressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone's attracted to it.
Right.
Dancing wise, fitness wise.
Yeah.
Like
it's
I just started
anything
doing
entertaining, yeah.
Yeah. Like what do you think then the gravitation to it is? Because like it's cool, but like they're not gonna do it themselves.
Yeah. I think it just makes this is the way I tell people is like the more you consume something, the more likely you are to do it. If you think about it, right?
Sure.
The more you see something, the more likely you're gonna take action. And I think what I like doing about collaboration is, for example, like I collaborated with. So this is a sad story because like this guy actually, he really elevated my Instagram. Like I only had I think 5,000 or 6,000 followers. This guy named Jamoki Hill. He was on the Biggest Losers Challenge TV show.
Okay.
He's like over 600 pounds.
Shit.
This was back in 2019 before I moved to LA. This guy's been following me, and I was like, man, I told my ex at the time, I'm like, I want to collaborate with this guy, and then she actually was like, I think that would be a good idea because like you know I'm lean as hell. I'm an athlete. This guy's overweight. He can't do majority of the workouts that I do.
Sure.
Right. So I reached out to him. I was like, yo, Jamoki, I think we can make some dope content. He was my very first collab.
Very first.
2018 actually.
Okay.
did-
What got you to just want to collab?
Because I feel like I seen the way he move. I'm coming from a trainer aspect, and I know there's certain movements that I could do that he can do that we can make look sick on camera.
Sure.
So we did a collab.
You've been thinking about like this from a long time ago, just like aesthetic physical movements on camera.
Yeah, but then also too, like, so going back to the collaboration, we did a collaboration together. We did a video. That video went viral everywhere. Hit over 5 million views.
Okay. What
From
was it?
5,000 or 6,000 followers, I went up to I think like 15,000 followers on
shit.
Instagram. This is in 2018.
What was the video?
Organic. We did a collab together.
No, what did you do on the
We
video?
did battle ropes.
Okay.
He did battle ropes. He did wall sit. Well, I threw the med ball at him as he's in the wall sit hold. We did. I think we did like a curl to a barbell press. He was
Okay.
doing it as well. We were doing like the sit up. So he was in front of me. I was right in front of him. We're doing a sit up and we're doing the ball toss. And I think the reason why that went viral is because not a lot of people thought that guy that I collaborated with, Jamoki Hill, rest in peace, was not able
fuck.
to do it.
Damn.
So that's the reason why I think that went viral. And that's the reason why I like doing collabs as of today, because it's like people see me early on as like someone that's intimidating. Like, man, this guy does all advanced movements, no beginner stuff.
It is intimidating.
It
for
is.
sure. To
But
someone who
now-
doesn't know fitness.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now I've been more I started doing a lot more basic to advanced movements. So I started doing a lot more collabs now with like a regular individual, like women, for example. Like a lot of my traction on Instagram, like as far as collaborations, they do better with women. Because why? Because obviously the women look attractive. Number two, the girls can do it, not just me.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse for you to not follow me or like to be like, oh, I can't do it because you're doing advanced movement. That's bullshit, because now the lady right here that you are
Is doing it.
fantasizing over
Yeah.
is basically able to do it. So that's the reason why I like doing collaboration, because like now it gives you the mindset of like, okay, I can do it too.
What's one movement right now that is hard for you that like you're trying to master?
That's hard for me right now. That's a very, I'd say the clean. Like
Clean.
a front press
Yeah.
to a clean. Like,
Clean this way. This is a clean.
Yeah, but what's the one where you like go
Jerk.
into like a jerk? Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't do. I think because of my shoulder. That's something I want to start learning how to do before I die or before I end fitness. Is that
Why do you want to learn that? Because that's not that impressive.
I think for me it is. I don't know. Maybe because I don't know how to do it technical, like very technical. Yeah, I think weight wise, like I want to be able to do like a 45 or I don't know. That's just a goal, but like I'm not like very fixated on it. So. Yeah,
there's always like something that.
And another one, is what Taylor keeps doing is the freaking dragon flag. Well, I mean, not the dragon squat.
The dragon squat.
On the floor level. I cannot do that.
Yeah. No, it's called
just my inner groin. Like, I don't know if it's tight or if I need to strengthen it more to be able to do it.
So my buddy just got it to do they just did a video together. A collab.
Okay.
Me and my buddy Tommy. Have you seen him? He's the guy with the swords. At the Fit Expo, he's
if I see his face, I
big
forgot.
swords. He had this huge booth at the Fit Expo. He made these big workout swords. You've never seen?
Workout swords. There's some guys that were doing like some medieval stuff.
Nah, this
That's
is
not the one?
big swords,
Okay, I don't
bro.
think I've
This
seen
is
that
like
one.
a 20, 30 pound sword.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that. No, I don't think I've
he
seen
had
that.
Larry Wheel swinging it. He had
What the hell?
Yeah, dude, it was sick. But the way he learned it was he started. If you're trying to learn it, this is what he told me how to learn it. You start in the spot. You start in the dragon pistol. So you're on the ground and you're in that pistol squat, but you start over here. You start at the bottom, and then you work your way up. So then you push out of it. Does that make sense?
Oh, so that's like a negative.
Do the negative of it.
Got it.
And he did that for 6 months and was able to get it.
6 months. Wow.
Well, he just wanted to do a video with Taylor because he knew I knew Taylor, and
I'm gonna get that now. Cause Taylor, I mean, we collab and she's always telling me like, "Look, can you do a dragon?" Every time like I see her, I'm like, "Nah, I haven't gotten it." Then the next time we collab, are you able to do it? I'm like, "No, I haven't gotten it." So now, because I mean, she's nice enough to like have me do it on the box, so we've been doing it on the box. But I'm done with the box. I want to do it on the floor, so I'm gonna get to it now.
So impressive, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think there's not a lot of people who can do
There's
that.
not a lot of guys that could do it.
Most of the people who I could see it
It's
are girls.
women. So I'm gonna tap into that.
I'm gonna
real
tap
big.
in.
So Taylor, if you hear this, I'm gonna get that.
I'm gonna get it.
Mark my words.
That was confident, bro. That was confident. I think you have to get it now.
Yeah, because I just need the right the progression per se.
Bro, how was the Apple Vision Pro?
Oh my god.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so
Like, what was it like putting it on? If you guys don't know, the Apple just released.
It's a 3D glass.
Can you explain it?
It's their very first generation, first prototype.
It's like goggles. You put goggles on, and what it's like.
I don't know how to explain it, bro. Like it's literally everything that you could do in that little freaking goggle thing.
Like what?
Like you could do. It's like basically you can multitask within that thing, so you don't even have to. So
You could
for example,
see me right now. Like if.
yeah, I can see you. Then I could like look on like watch sports here.
Yeah.
On the right side, I could like do something like, I don't know, like on my Microsoft Word or watch another YouTube video.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? Like, instead of like being on 3 different devices, it's all on this virtual like goggles, you know? But
did
the
it
crazy
look
thing,
fake or did it look real?
it's
or?
real, bro. And the thing is too, is like when I wear those VR things or anything like a goggle device, I get kind of dizzy.
Yeah.
Like, you know that feeling like when you wear something like, but when I wore that, I didn't feel that at all.
I didn't feel it at all.
I think, yeah, that's just, that's the future for sure. Like, people think it's weird right now. Just like how we thought Teslas, when they're coming out, electric, like, what the hell is this piece of car?
Yeah.
Now there's like,
This piece of car.
yeah, like now there's like over thousands of them now, especially in California. We're like the most,
LA.
we're like the most populated place in the U.S. with Teslas, and it's only gonna get bigger from here.
For sure.
But that's the same thing with the Apple Vision Pro. Like I'm telling a lot of people, like it may not be for everyone, but it's gonna be it's gonna like serve a great like impact for sure. But the crazy thing is, when I was doing those pull-ups, literally in the video, I could see a 360 of myself doing the typewriter.
What do you mean
pull-up.
360 of yourself?
Like it's a like you could record yourself in the goggle as you're working out, and
How?
you can see a 3.
How does that work?
I don't know how to explain it. You just have to like click set the setting on there. Yeah, I was just testing it out. I'm like, damn, this is crazy.
Did you get one?
Like,
or was it for
no?
like...
It was my friend, so he
Okay.
got it. Like I guess they were giving out demos.
Okay.
And he was telling me, he was like, you could like when you go to the Apple Store, they're only giving out 6 per hour. This was I think 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh no, this was yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday he told me that. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was cool to like test it out and see how it works. But like,
Do you think it's going to be just as game changing as like, I don't know, the iPhone or the
yes,
typewriter?
It's gonna be. You think about it. What other brand is doing that right now?
Oculus?
Which one?
Oculus?
They do it. No, that's a game device.
It's the same thing though, no?
But they're not doing anything else like watching YouTube, working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's only based on gaming.
Yeah.
That thing could do gaming too.
What's your screen? What's your screen time like?
I haven't checked it in a minute. I have to check my phone. Yeah, I think it's a
Do you
lot.
think it's high?
It's a lot.
Every
yeah.
social media person I talk to, like Taylor's is like 12, bro.
12 hours a day?
Yeah.
I should check it, dude. I don't know. It's a lot though.
And I'm just like,
Hers is more.
I was like, if you,
I think mine's like 8.
okay, that's not bad.
I think I have to double check it in a day.
The thing is, like, if we get these goggles, bro, like, how much are we gonna be living real life?
That's the problem. So I was telling
I'm
my
so
friend,
worried about that,
yeah,
bro.
but I mean, you think about it. Anything that we go through in life, we're gonna just adapt to it, no matter what. We're going to evolution right now, and I think part of this is the freaking the Apple Vision Pro. You know, whether you like it or not, this thing is coming quick.
It's coming. Yeah.
It's coming like.
Well, AI is insane now. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people use it for email. A lot of people like
Yeah.
are using it for scripts.
Everything, yeah.
Everything.
It
The whole
depe-
writer's strike was that.
It just depends on how you use certain things. It's
Okay.
not bad for everyone, but it just depends on how you use it.
Okay.
Right? But that is the future, bro. Like that thing, the Apple Vision Pro, from here on out, it's only gonna get better. Look at everything that iPhone 13, 14, 15, 16, that thing is gonna be better. It's not gonna get worse.
Dude, the thing that I value so much about physical fitness is like I think it might be the only thing physical left.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think they need trainers no more. Cause you got this.
No, but the human aspect of it is a big thing. Like being accountable.
Like the human interaction?
Yeah, like being accountable to some other actual human being. Because my example is I've bought a training course from someone, right? And it's like 30 days to get your muscle up or whatever it was. For me, it was a stretching course I bought recently. It was a 30-day hip opening challenge, right? And I stopped at like day 10, right?
Oh, really? It was too hard?
No, it wasn't too hard. I just got lazy and like I'll do 11, but like it would be like I just skipped a few days. But if there was a coach there, if there was an actual tangible human being like on the other side of the phone or in person, like
Right.
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, you have no choice but to
You don't want to
show
let
up.
them down either. Like for me, like for example, that course that you took for calisthenics, ideally you didn't need to do it 30 days straight. You could do it whenever the timeline you wanted to.
Of course, yeah. It's
Right?
just on how important it was to you, how
Yeah.
committed.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, like things get in the way, life gets in the way, and I'm just like, if you have, I feel like you need trainers still. Like,
Yeah, especially that person. Yeah,
I always say this too, like, do you want to have a doctor fix you up, or do you want to have a trainer to prevent you from never being able to get fixed?
right. That's a good point.
You know, it's like you're willing to wait 20 years, 30 years, and pay hundreds of $1,000s to fix your body. What if you have to pay less than that and never get fixed?
That was always like an objection that I would overcome
What do you mean?
when I used to do online training.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't know if I can afford it right now. Even though they know they freaking have a good job, they're a real estate agent. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just, you know. But then I would always tie it down to like, look, like you have these health issues, right?
Yeah.
You're not willing to fix it with this, basically training.
Yeah.
But you rather fix it with all these medical, like all these medicines and like these pills from the doctors. That's so much more, and that's actually only gonna numb the pain, not necessarily fix the root pain. You know? Yeah, it's just crazy.
What's your ideal diet for yourself?
Ideal diet: I eat like I said, 80-20% rule, whole nutrient dense food. So whole foods, nutrient dense food. So like in a typical day for breakfast, I have this is in my plate. I have spinach, egg whites, then I'll have my sriracha and my seasoning, like the black pepper, oregano and all that. Then I'll have my shake. My shake composed of protein powder, oatmeal, blueberries, strawberries, almond milk, a little bit of walnuts. That's like my go-to every
That's
day.
it.
That's my go-to
That's
every
your
day.
protein shake.
And then I have my pills, like obviously like the multivitamins, the magnesium, you know, the vitamins per se. That's my breakfast. I do that. I try to do that every day.
What got you to that protein shake? Everyone has a different protein shake.
I don't know. I think it's just easy and it tastes good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just tastes good. That's it.
So mine is a full frozen banana.
Oh, did I say banana too?
No.
Oh, I added in there too.
Mine's a full frozen banana. Mine's a scoop of protein. Mine's a cup of low-fat Greek yogurt.
Ooh, Greek yogurt. I haven't had it in a minute.
Scoop of almond butter, and a little bit of cinnamon, and 2 ounces of cold brew.
Cold brew?
Coffee. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How does that taste?
I like it a lot. Oh, I put a little bit of oats in it. So it tastes like
What does it taste like?
Tastes like coffee cinnamon toast crunch.
What the hell? I haven't had that cereal in a long time.
Yeah. Because I put a little bit of cinnamon in there.
That's why it tastes like that?
Fire,
Only a
bro.
little bit though, cinnamon? What the heck? That's crazy.
Yeah, and it gets your caffeine in. You don't need
That's
coffee.
true. Yeah, that's
You're wired
very
up.
true.
Let's go.
That's very true. Damn, I have my coffee in the morning when I wake up. And then a couple hours later, I'll have my breakfast. And then I'll go to the gym, some more caffeinated. So that's a problem.
Do you have a split right now?
What do you mean split? Like workout wise or food? Not set in stone, but like when I tell people, it's like I do a split. Like Monday would be chest and tris, Tuesday back and bis, Wednesday shoulder and abs, Thursday bis and tris, Friday I go ham on legs, and then Saturday I usually work out whatever's not sore. Sunday's a rest.
Did you? Always...
But you know what's crazy? I'm so sorry to cut you off. But you know what's crazy? Sundays, sometimes it's not even a rest. I use that as like a content day. So I get down like 4 to 5 workouts, which is like literally like a workout session.
Yeah, how do you fit in all the content stuff while doing your normal workout stuff?
I do it twice a week now. Before I used to do it like after my workout, but I can't do it after my workout because the days that not even that, I'm not as motivated to work out because I'm thinking about, I can't wait to make this dope content. So I'm not too focused on my workout. Yeah. So I stopped doing that. Yeah. So I do it twice a week. And I'll dedicate either Saturday or Sunday shooting content. Each of those days will probably be 5 pieces of content.
You treat it like work. I mean, it is work.
I love this work. I don't think it's work for me.
So the people who are, I guess, like worried about getting embarrassed or is scared of putting themselves out there and X, Y, and Z about insecurities, what do you have to tell them?
Hey, I was a skinny guy back in 2012. All the way up until 2012, 2013. So you ain't got to be worried. Like, you're going to start somewhere. And you're only going to get better from here if you put in the work and you're serious and committed about getting to whatever you want to get to.
Yeah. What are you most excited for now since, like, I don't know, did you ever think that you were going to make did you always believe that you were going to make a full-time living doing what you love? Did you truly believe that?
At one point, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I think as I kept doing it and stayed consistent and just kept doing what I love and noticing that I'm gaining a lot more traction, more followers, and more like awareness and brands, like I think that's what motivated me to be like, okay, this is what you're destined for.
Yeah, the momentum's
building. The momentum kept going, so I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep like maximizing it, you know, to its highest frequency.
So what are you most excited for now? Because like you're at a point where like you're doing the thing that you love every single day.
I think right now I'm excited to launch my training app because I think that's going to take off and that's going to be my bread and butter. And then on top of that too, I think being able to travel more because I think there's more to life besides just living in LA. Okay. You know, I think LA is a cool, like...
Have you traveled a lot?
Not as much as I wanted to. I think this year I want to start traveling more overseas. Like me and my best friend, we're going to go to Cancun. Ooh. Yeah, because Cancun is like the most visited place in the summer all over the world. Yeah. Well, not Cancun, but Mexico in general. Okay. But I heard a lot of great things about Cancun, so I'm like, let's just make that as my first, like, overseas.
What does traveling do for you?
I think it gives you more inspiration. It gives you more to life. Because you think about it, if you're stuck in LA, you're going to do is LA, and like it kind of gets boring. Right? Okay. When it's boring, it's like, okay, like you're kind of like not plateau, but like you feel like it's not as exciting. Okay. So if it's not as exciting, you're not going to be excited about your mood, if that makes sense. Yeah. If you go to a different place, it's like, oh my God, the beach is like, you know, like you're more like, how do I explain it? You feel more inspired. Yeah. When you feel more inspired, you go back home, you feel more motivated now. Like, damn, I'm going to work harder now because now I get to go UK, Canada, London, wherever, Italy. So it gives there's more happiness. There's more to life when you just travel. Yeah. You ever hear that saying about like older people, like their biggest happiness in life is like obviously like they said traveling, and then they also said like just family, like or like you know doing things that they love, and I think it's a beauty, you know.
What do you call it? What do you love about LA?
I just love the opportunities. I love how it's very diverse. Weather.
started the podcast, you were talking about the different mentalities of people from the Bay, and
I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this.
the difference of
Bay Area
than LA. And why do you think that is, or what's the difference, like from your perspective? Because like I've never really lived in the Bay, so I can't really articulate what you were telling me.
Okay, so LA, obviously people move to LA or stay in LA because they're trying to make something out of themselves, right? And the only way you're gonna make something out of yourself is if you take risk, right? A lot of the times, right? Like if you want to get somewhere, you have to take risks.
Sure.
Bay Area, like I feel like it's very, I told you earlier, a lot of people are very closed-minded. They're scared to take risks. They live by the book. A lot of my friends live in tech, like engineer, like nursing, whatever. Like it's very like heavy out there. Silicon Valley, so they're in front of the computer all day. Versus people in LA, you could do whatever you want. You could be freelancing from like being a videographer to a photographer, or you could be a trainer at the same time. So you're more open-minded to more things, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I think that's the major difference between the two places from what I've experienced from living in the Bay like half of my life versus here in LA.
There's something about the people in LA, they do everything. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like you're not just doing one job. Like I'm doing videography, right? Because I'm shooting content.
Yeah.
I'm still training clients, right? And I work with brands. So like, and you're technically a creative director. So it's like, what the heck? You're doing 4 things at once.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gives me a lot of high here in LA. It's like, man, I ain't got one job. I got
everything,
4 jobs.
bro, yeah.
And I work my own schedule. I can't get no better than that.
What joy do you get what joy do you get out of making things out of nothing? Because without you, without like your creative process, without your thinking, without your brainstorming, like these videos would not exist. You wouldn't have affected these amount of people and stuff like that. Like and this video would not exist without you taking the time to like brainstorm and create that idea and then turning it into a video and making it on social media for people to see.
What was your question? I'm so sorry. I got that what you're saying.
Yeah,
but,
well, what joy do you get from making things out of nothing? Like from creating, from having an idea and turning it into a reality.
What reward?
Yeah, what does it do for you? So like, I don't know, for example, this video of you doing this core thing that you just posted, right? And like, it was probably an idea in your head and you messed around with those boxes and you're like, oh, okay, like I think I could do this. And then you make it happen. You turn it into reality. This thought into a physical video,
right?
That is impacting. I guess congrats on 500,000 followers.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It just makes me feel like because like I try to put things into perspective of like, yeah, you have all this access in the gym, right? Like I do a lot of the advanced movements. That was one of them. But I also made it to where like people can relate to like using different fitness tools with doing those core workouts. But I think I don't know. I just having I don't know if you have that feeling, but like when you get those DMs on Instagram, they're like, yo, Alex, man, I tried your workout the other day.
All the hot girls sliding to Alex's DMs.
Not even that. But like what I'm saying is like the core workouts, right? Like the one for example, when I did, getting that feeling from someone that's a nobody.
That you don't know them.
I don't know them. They follow me, right? You get those DMs, but hey, I've been following for years, bro. Like you changed my life. I started doing your core workout. That makes me feel good, man. Like you may not be paying me for me to help you, but at least I'm doing it out of like free service, and I'm still getting to you to where you want to get to, or that's going to strengthen whatever you want to strengthen in terms of like muscle,
Sure.
So I think that's what keeps me going is like knowing that, but then also too, the numbers represent people that I'm inspiring.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like every follower that you get, that's like another person that I think of in the back of my head that I'm saving.
Yeah.
In terms of like mental and physical.
Yeah.
So I think that's what pushes me to keep doing that.
How do you do that for yourself?
What do you mean do that for yourself?
Seems like you're a positive guy.
I try to. I mean, I still have negative thoughts here and there, but like that's why I do things that I love every day because I think it keeps me into being in a very, very positive mode. If that makes sense. I get negative thoughts here and there. I get a lot of self-doubts,
What do you do when those thoughts come into existence?
I try not to think about them. I try to, the one of the ways I try not to think about them is to like read or listen to podcasts. I doing that, and then also just editing videos, getting into the mode of doing it.
Yeah.
I just don't think about it. I talk to myself out loud. Sometimes when I'm like thinking about
yourself out loud.
something, like, well, not in the gym, but like, well, at home, I'm like, dude, Alex, you got this, dude. Why do you think like this? I think the self-talk is very vital.
How does someone develop a positive self-talk? Because like, there's a lot of people out there, bro, who like, I'm not good at this. I'm never gonna do this.
Yeah,
blah,
I
blah,
think
X, Y, Z.
Being exposed to watching positiveness, how you do that? YouTube, right? Podcasts like this. People that you look up to. It could even be through Instagram, people that are very inspiring, right?
Who do you look up to
reading
now?
book. The one that I've been like, I listen to a lot is like Gary Vee.
Gary Vee.
He's straight to the point. He don't give a damn how you feel. Like he's telling you straight up because he's really genuine about it.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys I listen to. I started listening to Andrew Huberman.
Oh, his shit's
because
good.
he's not very opinionated. Like
It's
he just
scientific fact, bro.
Yeah, I'm all about science. I'm all about facts at the end of the day. So those are some of the people. And then obviously, like, I read a lot of books. I think books really helps a lot.
Have you listened to the podcast with Goggins and Huberman? Dave Goggins?
Oh, they had one? I haven't seen that one.
It was really good. They talked
Shit,
about
I gotta watch that one.
There's part of your brain. I talked about it on the last podcast, but there's this part of your brain that, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I don't remember the name of the part of the brain, but there's this aspect.
Is it amygdala or something? Amygdala? You know that word?
Yes. It's not that, but it is
okay.
that.
I thought it was that. Okay.
There's this part of your brain where if you do the hard thing in your life, so like it's like I don't want to work out, but I do work out, right? I don't want to film this video right now, but I film the video.
Disciplinary.
Yeah. It makes every single future action easier to do. Does that make sense?
Interesting. Right.
And it's seen in athletes, professional athletes, that this part of the brain is bigger. That this part of the brain is bigger and it makes every action easier. So for example, you go to the gym and you do this workout today and you don't want to do it, but you do it. Or you do this cold plunge and you do it, but you don't want to do it. It makes the next cold plunge and the next workout, the next task that you don't want to do easier every single time. And I think that's just a superpower. Like, and it's in science now. Like, it's a proof that it's not woo woo. It's proof that like, oh, like I'm not just saying that is. There's this part of my brain that allows me to do that.
That's interesting. I love that. That's so true, though. Honestly, like this is not like information that's like sugar coated or like not available. Like that's 110% true for everything, man. Like,
yeah,
especially the way that you put it into perspective. I like that with like the football players. But because like they're going through tackles, like it's like getting hit by a truck driver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like them being able to go through that and makes it easier for them to do whatever they're doing in life, like struggles to like maneuver per se.
Where do you want to travel to?
So I made a vision board: Palawan Island in the Philippines, Grand Canyon in the U.S., Cancun, and then the last one was Santorini in Greece.
Vision board. Can you explain what a vision board is?
I don't know why I made it this year. This is the very first time I made a vision board.
Never made a vision board before.
Nah. So a vision board is basically something that you look at every day. It could be before you wake up or any time out of the day.
Where is it?
It's in my place.
Is it
like right
in
like
your
in front
room?
of my laptop?
Is it above your head?
Living room area?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like like when I'm like editing videos, it's right on top.
Okay.
2024 vision goal.
Damn.
Yeah. So those are the 4 places I want to visit. But definitely going to Cancun soon. Palawan, we'll see. Maybe December, end of the year, because I heard it's nice to go into the Philippines around December.
Okay. Why?
Yeah. Because the weather's just better there during that time.
What are your quarterly goals now?
What's quarterly again? It's like 3 months or?
Well, you said every 3 months you set goals.
Yeah.
So there's 4 quarters in a year.
Yeah, 3 months, launch my training app, go to one destination that I have on my vision board. Try to reach 1 million followers. We'll see.
Yeah.
Those are just my major goals right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that I can think of.
Why million followers?
I don't know. It's just a milestone that I want to reach. And just talking to like people that I film, because like I mentioned earlier, I do videography. So I do a lot of content creation for other influencers.
Okay.
There's one specific fitness influencer, Dr. Robin. I look up to her a lot because...
And you do her fitness
I
content?
did. Yeah, then we started becoming busy. The schedule didn't work. So just seeing her grow from like 490 something thousand followers to now she has 1.2 million. We worked together for almost a year.
Yeah.
And just, gaining a lot of knowledge and information, like some experience or information from her and telling me like, yo, like there's certain levels to this, especially with following. They say following don't matter, but it actually does matter.
What's the secret to growing a following?
Be consistent, post high valuable content, don't get discouraged, and keep posting what you love, not necessarily what you think you're gonna receive from it. For example, oh, I'm just gonna post this because it makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
Those are just my simple tips.
How do you determine value? What's valuable?
Whatever your core value is, like, I don't know, your core values, if that makes sense.
No. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
I'm trying to like, what was it? What was you saying again?
What do you determine to be valuable? Like, why is it like what is value?
So value.
What is a valuable video?
A valuable video. So from what I've like listened to, like the 3 components that brings value to any type of content, it has to be entertaining, informative, and educated, or educative, if there's such a word. So any of those 3 components, if you're doing any of those, that's valuable content.
Okay.
Yeah. Did that answer your question?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. And how do you get comfortable with talking to a camera?
I think you just got to keep doing it.
Yeah. Was it weird at first?
Hell yeah, it was weird. I look at my old YouTube videos and I look like...
You don't post too much on YouTube anymore.
No, I need to get back into it.
Yeah.
A lot of
Why did you stop?
I think during the time after I split with my ex during online training, I was trying to do it. I got a little discouraged because I wasn't growing as fast as I was on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
So that's why I stopped doing it. But it's crazy because when I started posting YouTube shorts, I finally hit 1,000 subscribers. Nowhere.
Well, shorts are a big thing right now, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very big.
And
we're overlooking it.
We were talking about this earlier. It's like there's something about short form content that, I don't know, for example, I could learn 10 leg movements from you, like squats, jumping, like flutter kicks, this and that, blah, blah. You could show all in 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, I know what to do at the gym today.
That is crazy.
And like versus me listening to a 30-minute video of you explaining it nice and slow, like I would rather have the short piece. But I was telling you earlier, my favorite form of content is like a 3-4 hour podcast.
Why is that? Well, yeah, why is that for you? A 3-4 hour podcast versus a 30-second?
Because I like how someone gets to the answer, right? So for example, when
you're saying that when you do the 30-second video, they don't get to the answer?
I'm saying like I could understand the process of how you got there. So for example, we're talking right now and someone's listening and you're talking about diet, right? And you're talking about the reasons why your diet is the way it is. It's like, oh, I'm Filipino. I love my rice. I could still have rice in there. A carb isn't a carb isn't a carb. Like the difference between fries and this and that, like the reasoning behind it, why you choose to eat the way you choose. And like, I understand the whole process versus like, if you have a 30-second video of like, hey, eat whole foods, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I don't know why Alex eats exactly the way he does.
I see. You don't know the why behind it.
Yeah. It's just like, I want to know how you got to the answer. And sometimes it takes a lot longer to do that.
Right. It's like watching a movie, right? Like you can't figure it out from a trailer, but you can figure it out when you watch the end of the movie.
Watch the end of the movie.
Makes sense.
And I like the process of it, the journey of it. Like your story is so much better now that I knew that some girl broke your fucking heart and I did that.
Oh, from talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And like versus like I like you even more.
Damn, I love that.
Right? Versus like
that's the missing part now that I'm realizing that as we're getting into this podcast is like, yeah, people could see my 15-second clip of me working out. Like
it's
a lot of them.
pleasing.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I like this guy.
You're jacked. The lighting's great.
He's
The
sick.
movement's dope.
There's still not enough emotional connection. But when I listen to this guy talk about his story through a podcast, ooh, I love this guy.
Yeah.
So that's how I see it now.
Yeah.
On Instagram, ooh, I like this guy. He has aesthetics. Oh, the workouts, the way he films it. Now when he gets to podcast, damn, he told the story. Oh, I love him.
Yeah. And
Now-
it's not that.
yeah.
It's a good story.
That makes sense.
Yeah. The thing is, it's media, bro. Like Nike sold this story of, do you know anything about
Shoe Knight?
Shoe Dog?
Yeah, I read that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
What's his
right?
name? Knight?
Phil Knight.
Phil Knight, yeah.
Phil Knight.
Crazy.
And I fell in love with Nike way more after reading that book because I understood the story of this dude failing again and again and again. And he went to Japan
so much,
and
bro.
he lost his son and he went through all these athletes to get this brand out. He almost went bankrupt so many times. He had employees work for him for free. I was like, oh, I'll wear fucking Nikes now. Like I feel proud wearing Nikes. right?
Isn't that crazy how you wear something not because of how the look of it, but the story behind it?
That's what I'm saying.
It's
like,
crazy.
I'm going to follow Alex's workout now because I love the fact that he didn't give up when he had to go home and fucking
right.
like live at his parents again for 3 months. Like he had the ambition to come back to LA to do the thing. Like, dude, so many people don't do that.
Yeah, that's true, bro.
You know?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm just thinking about like that book too. I remember that, but he went through some. And look at him, dude. He's like the most successful brand in the world. Nike is the number one. I think the number one.
Yeah, and
brand in the fucking
I don't know
world,
how like no one came up with that slogan before.
Just do it. It's so simple.
It's so simple, bro.
Dude, yeah.
How do you brand yourself? Because you're technically a brand, but like, it's just your name.
Man, I haven't thought about it. I haven't gave it much thought.
Like, I think it's very admirable that like you've built such a big following and it's you. It's like your name.
Right.
And you're just doing workout videos and stuff like that. No slogan. No. Do you have a website?
No, I'm gonna go through it with the training app.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's dope. It's fucking dope that you got this.
That's
far.
the next goal too.
Yeah.
Is to get at least a website going, the custom training app. But that's gonna be my bread and butter, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
You know?
What do you want to stand for?
Just moving better at the end of the day, dude. Like it's crazy because like, you know, I film content sometimes at the park or like the beach or like another gym outdoors, right? And you know who I run into? The number one person? Older people that are running, bro. Like they're walking every day. I talk to these guys, they inspire me because like I talk to these guys that come up to me and I'm doing all this advanced movements. They're like 70, 80 years old, walking, running. I talk to them. They're like, hey, they come up to me. We're like, hey, Alex, I love what you're doing. Like, it looks amazing. And I'm like, thank you. And I talk about them. I asked them, I was like, yeah, so do you exercise too? They're like, yeah, I run every day. I'm 80 years old. I walk every day. Like longevity is at the top for me. So helping people just to like move their body, like nutrition can't do that. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? Like I think there's more like if you want to live longer, I think moving your body is gonna be the missing piece. Whether you're walking when you get older, running, you know, doing something physical. Because when I run into these people, I'm like, that's the number one thing they tell me. It's like, yeah, I just walk every day. I'm like, what the heck? And he's like 80 years old.
Underrated, bro.
No, I swear to God.
Walking's underrated.
Because as you get older, like obviously it starts to reduce, like your frequency of the physical activity.
Yeah.
So walking would probably be the last for an 80-year-old. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, especially if you're on the bigger side, right? Like all my clients who are overweight, I'm just like, bro, just walk every single day. Like there's this one girl who I train right now, and I was like, hey, every day after dinner, just go walking for an hour, see what happens. Just walking, nothing else changes. She's lost a pound a week for the last 10 weeks.
Just from walking.
Just walking, an hour a day.
It's so underrated.
It can be simple.
It's very underrated.
It can be simple. What's your favorite movement? Like if you had to tell someone this is the only movement you could do to get to where you want to be, what is that movement?
The only movement.
Only movement. Like super simplify it. Like you only could do this movement every single day. Make it super simple.
Stairmaster. What?
No, that's a good answer.
Yeah, Stairmaster. I ain't gonna lie. But then that's gonna be hard for like an 80 or 90-year-old. So I mean, walking. Yeah, if I had to pick one.
What's your favorite?
But I can't say walking. It has to be something that you enjoy physically.
Yeah. What? Oh yeah, there's a lot of people who like love pickleball, dude. My parents play pickleball every single day.
You ever seen You Are What You Eat?
No, not
on
yet.
Netflix.
Is it good?
Yeah, so there's this, I think she's Filipino.
Okay.
It's a Filipino lady. Yeah, Filipino. She lives in Loma Linda.
That's
and
near
she
here.
plays,
No?
yeah, that's like somewhere like I think near San Bernardino County or whatever. But she was in that movie.
Yeah.
And she's like she's very old.
Yeah.
But she's playing, I think, pickleball or like tennis or something.
Okay.
At that age with other older people. And basically that movie is they go to different countries and they interview those people from those countries as far as like what keeps you living longer and healthier. And one of the factors for her was being in a community of playing tennis with other older people. I think it was tennis or pickleball.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was just one of her factors.
Well, community is a big thing, right? Like I feel like, at least for me growing up like you as well, the people that got you in the gym were your friends,
Yes.
you know? And I guess now, like, what's your community?
I think like just the fitness people, like people I collaborate with, people that I meet at the gym.
Yeah.
And people that I like on YouTube, podcasts, right? Like Gary Vee,
Yeah.
they are all those people I look up to.
Yeah. And I feel like the people that you listen to, like Gary Vee, or the books that you read, like that could be part of your community as well.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. What's
Like-
that other lady that she came up with the book called The 5-Second Rule? Mel Robbins.
Mel
I like her a
Robbins.
lot too.
She's dope.
Yeah, she just started, I think she just started a podcast, but like she's really good
She's
too.
had a podcast for a while.
Oh, she has it for a while. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't like Gary Vee for the longest time.
A lot of people don't like him because he talks shit and like he's very like blunt.
Yeah. And then,
But sometimes it takes the truth to freaking, get to where you want to get to in life.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't like Donald Trump because he says shit out of his mouth. I like him, because he speaks facts.
the one thing I do love about those people, it's like, that that's their truth.
Of course.
they
The people
only
that get hated the most are the ones that tell the truth.
They speak their truth.
90% of the time.
Yeah. It's like, you have to have respect for these people because
Yeah.
like, Donald Trump truly believes he is the shit.
He's
Like-
so confident.
Yeah.
Dude,
And then, like, when you were
for
talking,
him to bury his ex-wife in his golf course, that's insane.
that's a clip right there.
That's crazy, bro.
I didn't even know that.
I think it was the ex-wife or the ex-girlfriend. I don't know. Buried his ex-wife in his golf course. Well, I don't understand the concept of that. Why he did that? That's some gangster stuff.
Some gangster stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's like when people like bury family members in their backyards and stuff, like the ranch people,
Wait, what?
like farmers. Like a lot of people, like they don't want family to be buried in like a
Cemetery. Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know,
That's crazy.
dude. Confidence. Where do you think confidence comes from? Because like clearly you developed confidence.
I don't know. That's very hard to say because I think some people have it in them. Like, not. I think it takes a lot of trial and error for sure. Like going through a lot of risks and like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but basically going through a lot of shit. Like, I feel like when people go through a lot of shit, it's like they don't they don't care anymore. They're like, man, I went through this. I'm tired of it. I think there comes a point in their life where they're just like, I'm tired of this. I'm just going to do it, whatever. And then they notice that the reward came and now they're like, oh, damn, I feel confident. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like
that's
it's
it
the
builds
result.
the result that they get from it. So they're like, okay, and now I know what to do. And and I think it's just going through a lot of whatever they're going through.
Well, I think it also might be because you've done the thing. For example,
Yeah, doing something repetitively. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
like you're confident to explain to me how to be fit because you've done
I've done it, been
the
there, done
things to
that.
be fit.
Yeah.
You know, like if you were a scrawny guy right now in front of me and you were telling me how to be fit confidently, like that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, the proof ain't in the pudding.
It's not in the pudding,
Yeah.
bro.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, Alex, I think that was awesome first pod, bro.
Yeah, that was dope, man.
I'm
Thanks for
glad
having
you
me.
came on.
Hell yeah.
Where can everyone find you, bro?
I mean, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
What's the difference between TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, you think, in terms of social media?
Ooh, that's hard. I mean, obviously with Instagram, it's moderation in terms of like long and short story format. So it's a little bit of both. TikTok, I feel like it's short format right now.
Yeah.
But they've just started doing, I think, longer form.
Do you believe in
content.
the whole like Chinese conspiracy stuff with TikTok?
I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I really don't want to get into that. I think I don't know. I mean, they did invent that.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to get into that. Honestly, it's very deep. That's all I got to say. Like,
Yeah.
there's more to it behind closed doors
Yeah.
for sure.
But it's just so funny because there's so many people in LA who, especially LA, who are just they make a living off TikTok.
Of course, yeah.
You know?
A lot of people make a living off Instagram too.
Yeah.
So
Which
I
is
think
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's just a weird world that we live in now.
so weird.
Like it's really close. It's too close for our older generation to understand sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, do your parents understand that you make money off social media?
I don't think I went too deep into it. I think they have an understanding because my aunts and uncles, Like so my Instagram is connected to my Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't even go on my Facebook, but it's connected somehow. And like my aunts and uncles tell my mom. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how do you know this? But then it's like they tell her.
Yeah.
Because I see it on my Facebook and my Instagram. They probably see me on my Instagram and they just tell my mom and dad. Like, because I mentioned I don't like talking too much about like work and like what I do out here. Because, you know, like.
It's cool
I know
though, bro.
I know it's not really what they
want to though.
Because, you know, like I told you, like my dad, like he expected me to go to college, get a career. My mom wanted me to be a nurse or also be in the, you know, in college and get some career. So like I feel like I don't know. But you know what made me so happy was when my sister-in-law texted me 2 weeks ago, and she was saying, she's like, "Hey, do you want to be in Valerie, my niece, is career day?" I'm like, career day? Like she wanted me to like talk, I guess, about like my career. Wow. Like that's just me.
It's a good feeling.
It's a good feeling.
It's a validation
like,
that what you're doing is
right.
Right.
So that's why I was like, damn, that made me feel good.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, damn. So I mean, when the time is right, I'll tell my parents, but like I think they already have an idea.
Yeah.
And you know, coming from like Asian culture, they're not very open about like a lot of things. So like I think for me, it's like I'd rather let my actions show. Yeah. And let them judge on like if they think whatever I'm doing is cool, then it's cool. You know, like
keep doing what you're doing, bro. It's very inspiring.
So
appreciate it.
Appreciate it, yo. This was fun.
So and go check out Alex's app launching
end of February.
Yeah. It's confident. It's gonna happen.
Let's get it, baby. Yeah.
All right, let's get some workouts. Let's follow him. Go get your fitness on, y'all. And we'll see you in the next one.
Cool.
Peace. Bye. If you made it this far, thank you so much for tuning back into the Nate Biltz Podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode with Alex. It was an honor to sit down with him. If you haven't checked out his content, it is some of the most aesthetically pleasing fitness videos out there. Also, if you could do me a favor, if you received any value out of this episode, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bring you the most creative and talented humans in the world. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.